Welcome to episode 17 of The Inside Bite. I'm your host, Tim Schaefer. I'm here with my co-host, Rudy. How's it going?
Hey, Tim. I'm doing great. To give you guys the final conclusion to this long, epic saga.
There's a conclusion.
There's a conclusion.
Okay.
So, after almost 2 weeks of getting a ride to work every day from my lovely partner, very helpful, thank you, I finally got my car back yesterday. Now, we weren't out of the woods yet. The skeptic in me kept thinking every time the mechanic would text me and say, hey, I'm going to need an extra few days. I want to make sure of this. He didn't finish with this part. Whatever, all these things. In my head, I'm like, am I getting ripped off right now? Am I going to have to spend all this money?
I found this new problem. It's about $3,000.
Like and he's a great guy, by the way, and everything turned out fine. But in my head, I was just worried. I'm like, oh my God, it's not like, is something wrong? Am I like being a fool here? Whatever. But I got the car back. He was just being thorough, and I really appreciate that. He was just making sure with this big job that everything was good, which it was. So I got the car back. It runs great. Everything's fine. No issues. Only thing I noticed was when I was driving away, I heard like a little sound, and normally I wouldn't care, but I'm like, nope, I'm going to be extra sure. So I went right back. He checked it out. It was a little, something needed to be tightened a little more. No problem. Everything's good. So that's it. We're good. Everything's great. It was worth it. And let's hope this car now will I've literally fixed everything in this car at this point. So I don't see any reason why I shouldn't be good for a good number of years now, like a good 4 or 5 years for a while. Honestly, yeah. I know little things will arise, of course, but I mean no serious big problem.
Well, at least you're not having to bum rides or panic over you being stuck on the side of the road or something like that.
She was so nice about it too, and I hate doing that. I'm like, I hate the fact that you're bringing me to work every day. She's like, I live like 5 minutes away from you. I'm like, still.
No, I know. It makes you just want to like call a taxi or something.
Oh my God, I hate it. Yeah. So so we're good. Now I don't feel as bad buying all these games that are coming out. We're all good to go. So, no problem.
There's some big hitters coming.
There sure are, man. How about you? What's been going on with you? Anything new?
No, just been doing the dad life,
I get it. Good old
nothing
dad life.
Too exciting.
I saw your son got a little victory there in Fortnite.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty cool.
It would be cooler, but I guess I'm underplaying it. He's gotten so many at this point, and I'm sitting there being like, wow, I usually see it pop at least once a day, and he'll sit there and play for like an hour or two.
That's awesome.
I don't know. I guarantee he's probably better than me. If I was to get on Fortnite, I think he would do a better job than I would.
I almost feel like
which is weird because he's only like 7. I don't know. Understand how that's possible, but
the kids have something with Fortnite. Like it can just be so good. I feel the same way with like my students at school who talk about Fortnite. I'm in my head, I'm like, I don't know if I'd be better than these kids at this game. Like I'd wreck them in Halo, but I don't know about Fortnite.
What I figured out is once he started playing Halo and he was like way worse, and then I was like, okay, well, I'll start playing Fortnite. Right. It's crazy aim assist is what's going on.
Okay.
To like the 10th degree. It's pretty wild.
I see. So it's basically like whoever sees whoever first is going to have a good chance of.
I mean, there's still some wiggle room, but if you were to play anything else, you would notice. And he was having a hard time. He was like, why don't you just aim and shoot him? He was like watching me play Halo, like being like, dude, you suck. But then he starts playing and gets immediately wrecked and then realizes, why is this so hard? And then I have to explain to him what's all going on.
That's
and
hilarious.
Then now he's telling all these kids in Fortnite, it's auto aim.
It's so funny how like once you tell them one thing, they go and they just like my daughter now, she has a friend who plays Roblox all the time on like PlayStation or something. And she's like, oh, I only play on the computer. It's way better. The mouse and keyboard are so much better. It's hilarious hearing her talk about it. So,
but he'll like almost talk trash to other kids because now he's played other games and realizes the difference and all that. And then so we'll talk down on like thinking he's superior to them or something.
Oh my God,
I'm like,
awesome.
Bro, chill.
Yeah, all chill out. Play Fortnite. Come on, buddy.
I'm about to start a post office job here any minute.
Okay, and, just waiting on...
Basically, I went to ITT, and now the school shut down, and they were having problems getting my transcripts and stuff, which I don't even know why they would even need. It's post office. You don't really need a college degree to work there or anything.
Right.
But I think it's because I just put it in there because it was asking.
I see.
And now that they can't confirm it, it's causing more delay.
Wait a sec.
But
Aren't you? I'm sorry to interrupt you, but wait. The thing about ITT. I've been very involved in like following
yeah,
all the student loans and all that stuff. Didn't that school qualify as ones where they would forgive it completely because technically it was like a scam or whatever?
if you didn't, I mean, I finished it though. I got my degree. Now, if I was still midway through and didn't earn my degree yet, then yeah, I would all wipe. But
I see. Okay.
I already got the degree. I finished, and I can't take that back.
Okay, so, just checking.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of wish. I mean, I would go to a different school for 2 years and wish that away.
Yeah,
to be honest. So I had to fill out this form and send back to them so they can pull it straight from the state or something instead of having to go through ITT or whatever.
Okay.
Anyway, so it's just taking longer than normal. I got the job, already accepted it and all of that.
Right,
so.
You just have to... Okay. Yeah. Okay, great. Well, hopefully you like it when you start, and I know they pay pretty well, at least from what I can tell. So hopefully,
I mean, when I was up in there, half the employees were like over 60 and happy, so you can tell.
Oh, there you go. Okay, there you go. And
you know
what? I noticed about that job is when I see the postman or whoever walking around when it's like freezing out, that kind of sucks. But on the nice days, and obviously you live in Florida, so it's gonna be different. On the nice days, that's got to be kind of nice. I'm
gonna have the opposite problem.
Right.
I'm gonna be like my AC's not working in my truck, and I'm just pouring. But
that's great. All right, cool.
The winters are actually gonna be enjoyable here.
That's what I was gonna say. It'll probably be just the right temperature. Like right now, I see the people outside, like it's starting to get a little colder here, but overall they seem like they're...
But yeah, they overemphasize it a million times during the trainings, during the applications, and even when I went up there, she just repeated like 3 different times, hey, you do realize you can be working any weather conditions. And I'm like, yeah, I understand. I don't understand, but I understand. I guess so.
You understand, but you'll understand more once you start, I'm sure.
My mind's been working a lot with this little Bloodborne stuff because I think it's for real this time. I
really hope
because
so. Please.
We see a rumor every day for years, and I'm tired of looking at it. This new stuff, it's just coming from multiple places at once, and a lot of big people are dissecting it and figuring out, wait, this is coming from sources way higher up than just some random person on 4chan making a post about it, because it always seems like it's legit, but then when they figure out the actual source, it was just some guy being like, yeah, I just heard from somebody.
Right.
It seems a little more credible. It's a lot to it because all of it seems credible, and it's a port, meaning like, hey, come into PC, PS5 port, whatever. We don't know what it necessarily, if it's both, if it's one or whatever. But then there's also supposed to be a remake, like actual Blue Point doing the remake sort of deal.
Dude.
And then there's also supposed to be a 2 as well. So it's supposed to be a whole plethora of suit here because, and I kind of believe it only because Sony hasn't said anything for so long.
Not one word.
Kind of makes me think that it's even more all true because there's got to be something big in the works if you're doing all that.
Yeah, and the fact that it's been 7 years since the game came out, they haven't said one word. They've been going back and saying, hey, here's the 4K update or 60 FPS update for a ton of games. Not one word has been said about this. Could they have been waiting all these years to give us like this big splash of Bloodborne news all at once? I hope so.
Yeah.
But it says, like, I saw an article here that says the God of War on Steam backs up Bloodborne PC rumors. So it looks like more and more things are backing up that this is.
And with 2, the big thing is like, well, it's supposed to be Blue Point. 1, a lot of people don't want Blue Point doing it. They actually want the actual crew doing it and not them. But if they did Demon Souls, I know I don't know. It's still, even I'm kind of, how do we really know? Because you're remaking a game, you could add done to it, but the base wasn't theirs. What if they're starting from scratch? Could they start from scratch and actually be that creative?
Oh, you're saying for Bloodborne 2, you mean? Not for a remake.
let's say Bloodborne 2.
Oh, I gotcha.
The whole thing with Blue Point saying that, they're only going to work on original stuff. Is Bloodborne 2 original? Is that what they mean? Because otherwise they would just, like we were saying before, wouldn't it be like new IP if it was actually new IP? Wouldn't they just say new IP?
I think they would definitely, I mean, I could be wrong, but I think new IP is exactly what it sounds like. And they say What they say in their press release? Like
they said original. I'm
original.
saying, wouldn't they just say new IP if they were to make a new IP? So
Right.
maybe they are
Right.
making Bloodborne 2 because they did say original.
And
is a sequel original and not a remake? Is that what they're getting at?
Yeah, that's what I would think. Because you know what? I think they're saying that because all they've done so far, not all, but most of what they've done have been remakes. So I think they're clarifying. But when I think about Blue Point making Bloodborne 2, yes, do I think they're a great studio? Do I think they make a good game? Sure. But man, there's certain things
you
that
want
software,
that? Like overall, do you just...
I'm so torn on it. Like there's certain things that From Software does better than other companies, like their level design and the enemy design.
I mean, you could be great. There's millions, or not millions. Let's say there's 100 of the best developers, right?
Right.
Maybe 2% could actually make a game in that style. Even if you're really, really, really good, that's not the question. The question is like, can you do that?
Sure.
Can you do From Software? I don't know if many people can actually do that.
Yeah, that's a tough one. If it's I guess, okay, the other question is this. Would you rather get Bloodborne 2 by Blue Point, and maybe it's a very good game, but it's not, up there with what you would expect, or would you rather just not have it at all?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know, actually. The answer to that.
It's a tough one. I think honestly, no matter what, if Bloodborne 2 was coming out, I'd definitely be excited no matter what. So we'll see. We'll see what they come out. Just give me the Bloodborne remake, or the port rather.
But I'll take that. I just want the port. I don't even need a remake. Come on, just give me a port.
Do you need to do that much work to port Bloodborne to PC?
No.
Like make it higher frame rate, up-res it a little bit.
But apparently all these things are actually true. It sounds jumbled because it's kind of too much, and it doesn't sound believable. But apparently, it's supposed to be a port and a remake and number 2. So anyway, we'll see.
That'd be fantastic.
But, I was just deep down the rabbit hole last night, and there's a lot of proof for all 3 of these things.
Do you see these people like falling apart on Twitter? Like, I love video games, but the people who are so obsessed with
falling apart on what?
Like with the fact that God of War got announced for PC now. Like, I can't.
Okay, let's just get into that then. Okay. First of all,
oh my god,
that's a big. I mean, it's a big deal because God of War is like huge Sony IP. I mean, Horizon's one thing because it's a newer one that they made. Okay, report that to PC, and then like Days Gone, for example. But God of War, I mean, that's like putting Mario on PC.
Sure.
I mean, God of War is like so core to PlayStation.
Right.
I'm just saying that's why so many. This is way bigger than the norm because of that situation. Now. Still do it. The game came out in 2018, port to PC. Now, here's the bigger discussion, okay? The bigger deal is like, holy crap, wow, we are actually in an age, okay? Think how wild that is. Xbox and PlayStation are putting their biggest hitters onto PC. It's never been done before.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. I guess the way I feel about this...
Capcom is throwing their top priority to PC. PC is now actually the biggest it's ever been on getting games.
In a long time. Yep.
I think ever. I don't think they've ever been in this position. I mean, think about since NES, Sega Genesis days. It's not like these games were coming to PC. Any generation, we never got hitters like we're getting now to PC. Yeah. It's never happened.
Yeah, you're right. I think that the way I feel about it personally is obviously I have a PC, so I'm happy about this. But let me try to think of it a different way, right? PlayStation, let's say they start bringing their games closer and closer and closer to the point where one day it's day and date, right? It obviously will not bother me. Now, let's look at Nintendo. Will it bother me? No, I don't think it'll bother me, but I do think Nintendo's a little different. I'll tell you why. Because I think Nintendo's first party is literally what holds the system
You know why
up.
they don't do it still to this day and the others too?
Yeah.
Look at the sales.
Right.
Look at those Switch sales. You're not going to worry about porting to another platform when you got 30, 40 million sales on some of these games.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The first party of Nintendo is what holds the system up. Now, I'm not going to be a hypocrite. If they started doing it, I would be fine with that. But
I'm cool with it personally. It's just it's the conversation as a whole.
I don't think they're going to, though. Yeah. But yeah, I think this is awesome. I really hope the more and more time that goes by, it starts turning.
I mean, gaming is changing. Yeah. Like, I don't know. It feels like a huge pivotal moment in gaming history is like taking place right now.
Okay, so here, let me just check something out, right? Horizon.
Because that's the thing too, like buying PC parts. I mean, these things aren't cheap. So people are spending more money on gaming stuff than they've ever have if PC's as big as it ever has, because a console 2, 3, 4, 500 at the very most.
Right.
To do a PC, I mean, the lowest you're really gonna hit, yeah, you can do like a $500 build, but you'd be playing everything in the lowest settings. You would not be playing current gen stuff like that.
No, definitely not.
If you're PC gaming an average ordeal, you would at least have to spend like $800.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. People are spending way more on it. But check this out too, right? It's a little inconsistent, I'm not sure, but Horizon Zero Dawn original release date was February 2017. Let's say March, because it was February 28th, right? Then it came out in August of 2020. So a little over 3 years, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But then you look at something like Days Gone release date, which was...
Oh, speaking of which, hold on. Ghost of Tsushima. Also, apparently.
I saw that.
Yeah.
God, that's crazy. April 26th, 2019. And then PC version was Days Gone on Steam. That came out... No, it came out May 17th of this year. So that was 2 years.
Okay.
And then we have God of War, which is about a little over 3 years. So it looks like we're getting in that 2 to 3 year range right now. I mean, if it keeps whittling down 1 year, 6 months, I mean, I'm going to start waiting, because seriously, I mean, I love playing games day one, but man, if it starts getting to that point, I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I can wait 6 months. I think I could realistically even wait a year.
I could possibly do it.
I don't know if I could wait 2 or 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, that's too much. That's too much. I can't do that. 6 months is the sweet spot. I could do 6 months.
But that's a good question. I mean, okay, let's say it was 6 months or under. Are you actually just not doing console anymore? How does that go?
If you're talking about if every PlayStation,
because Xbox is already there. Now you only have PlayStation to worry about. Well, you have Nintendo. You would still buy there. Let's say Nintendo wasn't in the conversation. Okay, Xbox, PlayStation.
Right.
Are you even getting one of those anymore?
No, not if
it's 6 months or under. Is that something?
Yeah, no, that would be it. I would sell my PlayStation. That would be the end of that. But I would need to have a total confirmation. Like, it can't just be like, people are expecting,
we're just hoping and all that. Yeah, we need actual. But if we did have confirmation, I don't know. But I say that, but then I don't know, because there might be a game that I want to play day one, no matter what, right? Like Bloodborne 2 or something. Like, I'd have to play that day one. For me, there's more to a console than just even playing day one.
Yeah, of course there is. But you got to understand, I use my consoles just for playing games. Like, everything else I do on my computer, So
look, the last 2 or 3 years, my PC, like 3 years ago, I was good and then I've been good since I was like 17 or 18 years old or something like that. I've always been up to date. It's only recently because of the world right now. It's insane. So any time in the past, 100, 200, 300 the most, I was getting whatever part I needed. The best part you could get kind of situation. So anyway, it's only recent that things have changed. What I'm getting at is I still had my consoles though. Yeah. And I think it's going to be hard for me, even like, okay, I got top end PC. I still want to play on a console, but why was I doing that? I got to start dissecting that, because what if it was just because of the games? Because back then, 360 PS3 days, we weren't getting the same games to PC.
Right. Or crossplay wasn't a big thing.
Crossplay wasn't there.
Now it is. Now I don't have to go and play in the living room with my friend to play Halo. Now I can just play on my computer. That for me personally, that was the thing that was holding me back. But now, and the portability on the Nintendo Switch is why I'm going to continue getting that, because I think that's huge for me personally. But besides
I've already figured that ordeal out myself.
Right, on your phone. Yep. So, and then once the Steam Deck drops, I mean, man, that's going to be like the Voice of Cards, whatever that game's called, the Yoko Taro game.
Why would you pick up your Switch when you have your Steam Deck next to you?
Exactly.
That's already what's happening with my phone. So when it gets Steam Deck, that same situation now PC. But what I'm saying, so now that you're in that boat, are you picking up your Switch? The only reason then you're picking up your Switch is the exclusives.
Right.
But again, you're back in the situation to where, like, okay, PlayStation, Xbox, the exclusives are on PC. So what is the...
If Nintendo brought their exclusives, it'd be over. That's it. then we're all... Because I got the Steam Deck and the PC at that point. So no reason for anything else. But I don't
maybe I would just ditch consoles and just do PC. Because I'm really wondering, like, okay, well, why am I liking these consoles? I think it's just because I like new tech and I'm buying into it, but ultimately the core reason it was because I wasn't getting what we're getting nowadays.
But I know people who use their consoles for everything. I watch Netflix on it. I put Spotify on it. I do this and that. I don't really do that
too.
Yeah. But
I could do that on anything. I mean, I don't need a console to do that. Any TV nowadays, you can pretty much do that anyway.
Yeah. Well, when people tell me like, I'm like, hey, you check out this new show on Netflix. Oh no, I left my PlayStation at my friend's house. I'm like, you don't have anywhere else you can watch it, or is that it? You know.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see what happens, but it is exciting. I'm very excited. This is an exciting.
It's a weird age because we're now on that point to where this is completely sidestepping. But think how dorky PC gamers felt 10 years ago, right? And now they're like, all these companies are putting them front and center.
To take it a step further, think about how people like us felt growing up that we even liked video games, and now everyone plays video games, even the cool people. People like people you would never expect back then to play video games. You know, it's just so funny.
Yeah, it's finally taken part and become the norm, almost like it was in Japan even 10 or 20 years ago. Like the US has finally adapted it as a norm.
It's funny when I hear people talk about certain video games too, because it like sets something off in my head. The way people talk about certain games, I'm like, okay, so for example, I know some people who love playing NBA 2K every year, right? But they'll be like, hey, you get that new 2K? And I'm like, hold on, like 2K, like the studio? Like,
what are you talking
hold on,
exactly?
that doesn't make any sense. Like, they think 2K just means NBA. I'm like, what the heck? And there's a ton of different things that people say and do. It's just funny to me. They're like, you play a Nintendo system? Pfft, what's wrong with you? I'm like, oh God, okay. I guess I'll just leave myself out of this conversation. Then you start turning into the guy who's like, actually, and that's me. I'm like, all right, I just gotta leave this alone.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so Nintendo though, I mean, I think they'll just keep doing their own thing. I don't think they're going to sit there and worry about PC right now. I think they're very Japanese, and they're very much in the mind state of, I mean, they've been portable mind thinking since Game Boy days. They've always just, the smaller, the better. And they've always been in this mind state. All the way to the point of Xbox does not sell at all in Japan. Okay, you're talking 100 systems at the most, like 300 in a month or something crazy, and the rest are like 30,000, 40,000.
So nuts to me,
100,000, whatever. But look at the numbers of like console sales right now. That Series S console, because it's so tiny, is actually outselling like PS4s and very close to outselling PS5s there. Because it's so tiny, and they're actually really adapting to it. And Xbox is now becoming bigger than it's ever been. Like, they've never been bigger in Japan till now, and it's because of that tiny system.
I see.
And so for them, like, all it really took was just being minimal, and you got to sell. That's kind of funny.
Yeah, that is funny.
Yeah.
As opposed to the PS5 is a freaking gigantic.
It's so funny because I got both. They just stick them side by side. I mean, Series S is like the size of my hand, and the PS5 is like 5 of them.
When people come over to my house, sometimes they're like who don't play video games, they're like, "What is that thing?" What? Like, I'm like, "Oh, it's just
It looks like a air purifier."
Well, you've seen those, right? Those memes where it shows like a huge air purifier. It's like freaking 5 feet tall.
Pretty crazy that PC is now. Is it the biggest gaming platform now?
If not yet, it's going to be. I think I really truly believe that, because only thing that was stopping it before was not getting access to these games, and now we're starting to. And now the ports that they're starting to bring to PC are starting to get more and more. They're starting to be less
super niche,
ports.
Crazy things like Death Stranding is a big PC hit. It's wild. Anyway, all right. Let's move on.
Just to wrap that up, I'll say as long as developers keep doing what they're doing and not bringing these lazy ports over like they did with one that stands out to me is Final Fantasy 13. I remember I tried to play that on my PC. It was a mess.
But like, that was still in a weird time. That still wasn't when Microsoft or anybody was actually dedicating porting to PC. That wasn't going on in that time.
They just have to make sure they don't do the lazy ports, because it still happens occasionally. It's really bumming me out.
I don't think they will now, because now they'll stick out like a sore thumb because there's so many people doing it well. Back then, like, we were just lucky to just see it.
Yeah.
Even when 13 came out, oh, wow, it's on PC? Now it's like, okay, well, it needs to actually be good.
Right.
Anyway, I don't think that's something too much to worry about.
No, I don't think so.
Like Final Fantasy 16. That is PC and PS5 day one.
Can't wait for the man.
Isn't that crazy? Like, very brand new Final Fantasy, even Final Fantasy 15, that was the beginnings of PC being higher.
And it didn't come out. It didn't come out right away on PC.
And it came later. Now it's actually day and date. This is, I think, first time ever Final Fantasy day and date. It is.
The thought of playing a brand new Final Fantasy game right now is just, I can't be more excited. It's just like, I can't wait to sit down and start a brand new Final Fantasy. Oh man, it's gonna be awesome.
15 was good, but looking 15, back on it, it didn't hit nearly as hard as like a 10 or a 12 or an 8 or not, whatever. You know what I mean?
Especially not at first when a lot of the story was a mess, and later they cut things out, they added things in. I'm sure if you play it today, it'll be better.
If you play it today, it's a ton better. Because now it actually like high res, runs at a good frame rate. When on release, dude, I'm telling you, like I was bad. Early 20s in frame rate. You know what I mean? Like 22, 25 kind of area. And it was not good. Anyway.
I personally loved the characters in the game, and I thought the game was fun to play, but the story was like, I was like, what the hell?
I did like the game, but I still know all the issues, and I still am throwing it. It's still just a mess, even if I liked it. You know, it's still just like best I can give you is a 7, and that's pushing. Even though me personally, like I love the story. I do love the 4 dudes. I love the princess girl. I love the whole king story. I love even the backstory when you watch the animes and everything and know all of the context. It's a really good story. I actually was really involved into it. But anyway, it just was made really weird.
Yes.
And we'll leave it at that.
Weird development cycle for sure.
Yeah. Okay. But going into, though, I wanted to go into the Game of the Year watch because we're now end of October here, about to hit November. And we have yet to really dive into this yet. And a lot of stuff has come out. It's been a real weird year because, again, like end of pandemic times, if that's even a true statement you can make, I don't know. But end of pandemic times, everything just kept getting pushed and pushed. And even in this year, that's supposed to come this year, is coming next year instead. So it's still not like the norm of like the amount of stuff we would usually get. But we still got some big hitters, and it's still worth going into. And I think this year, as weird as it is, there's a few real big games that I feel definitely like shine a huge light. And
I'm going to add 1 or 2 on here because I'm looking at my list of games that I've played and games that I think were actually really good. So just you can keep going. I'm just going to add a few here.
I'm going to start going by like date of release here, just in the conversation that could be Game of the Year this year. Hitman 3. Bravely Default 2, Returnal, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, It Takes Two, Resident Evil Village, Psychonauts 2, Tales of Arise, Deathloop, Life is Strange True Colors, Metroid Dread, Little Nightmares 2, Nier Replicant. I think that's all of them. Right?
Yeah. I can't believe I forgot Little Nightmares 2, by the way.
Now, there's other games, but we're just listing all of them that we feel actually have potential of being the best game the whole year. Out of what we've listed here...
Let me throw Ken on here, too. Just in case. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, Ken is worth adding.
I could see some people picking that.
Yes.
Anyway.
We got a question from our audience here. What is your game of the year so far, and why is it Metroid Dread? That's by Chase Holton.
When he said that at first, my immediate, and again, nothing solidified, but my immediate thought was in my head, I'm like, I love Metroid. Is it my game of the year? But then I started looking at all the games I played all year, and man, I don't know.
It really could be. It really could be. We gotta
so far
soak more in this, but mine. Let me look at this. I've been recently getting back into Bravely Default a lot again, and I'm really loving it again. So, of course, that's something. Okay, Hitman 3. Let's just go. Let's start knocking some out. Yeah. Okay, Hitman 3. I'm knocking out. I did actually play it. I played like 2 or 3 hours of it. Well-made game, super well-made game. One of the best made games of all time. Kind of plethora. I really believe I could say that.
Okay.
Problem is, it's nothing. You're not getting mind blown by it. You've been there before.
You've been there.
That's my issue. And I hate that has to be like that, but it does. Sure. That's just life. Okay.
I haven't played that one yet, by the way. I'm getting there.
I mean, but that's what I'm saying. Play Hitman 1, play Hitman 2.
Yep.
You know what to expect.
Right.
And I mean, is that a way to ding a game? I don't know.
I mean, for now, we'll have the whole discussion when we get there, but I think that's fair right now as we're just like quickly deciding which ones hang, which ones don't.
Bravely Default 2. I loved it. but I think there's more important games.
Yeah, so the way I feel about this game is this. So far, I think it does what it does very, very well, and it's only getting better and better. But again, it's familiar ground. We've been here, nothing spectacular, right?
I'm not walking away crying or overthinking it a week later or trying to dissect or reading for. I like games that impact me so much I can't get it out of my head, and I start like questioning life and all that. I mean, that's really where I'm going when it comes to game of the year. Something that just shook me to my core. I just can't really say that when it comes to Bravely Default 2.
I agree with that. Yeah. I added Returnal because I do think this game. I do think
that is one that shakes you.
Yep. I thought this game was amazing. I thought it was very challenging, very fun. By the time you've ever played a game and by the time you're done with your 30, 40, 50 hours, whatever, you feel like you're an expert at it. Like you can run through and you're so good at it. That's how I felt like by the end of Returnal. You know? And that's one to keep my eye on for sure. It was awesome. Very, very good game.
Leaving that in. Let me mark the rest of these.
Sure.
Okay. But Returnal's worth. Now here's the thing. I haven't beaten Returnal. I played it. But I haven't beaten it.
Yep.
I need to buy it because I got a friend who had it, and now I need to just actually go and play through it all because it's not really a game you can just borrow and play for a little bit and be good. Like that's something I really have to buy and sink my teeth into and spend a long time with it.
Yep.
Next up, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. It could be there if it's too short for me. I know 10 hours. I know some games are even shorter than that, but I guess what I mean is like it's a good platformer, but I like that. I don't know. It's not shaking me at my core. I don't know how to word it. It is like, you can have a short game. Okay, it takes 2.
Yeah, I don't think it's about it being short because Metroid's not that long either. But it's not that.
It's more than that. It doesn't offer enough.
Right.
It doesn't need to have a deeper story. It shouldn't have a deeper story. It's Ratchet and Clank, but it's hard for me to put that as something that.
No, I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
I personally, I thought that the game was really fun, and it kind of felt almost like a Doom sort of thing where you're constantly having to use all the different weapons stuff. I thought that was cool. But again, all these months later, I love the game, but it
feels fun, but it doesn't feel super important.
Right.
I don't know how else to word it.
Yeah. Now, I think It Takes Two is a little different.
It Takes Two, I haven't played.
Okay, so I'll tell you,
that's one that I have to play and be able to put the things. Now, everything I know about it, I mean, I've heard a ton about it, and everyone's gushing and raving. It sounds awesome. I do want to play it. I mean, it sounds like it could be at least the best, like, co-op game, but there's not even many co-op games.
It's 100% the best co-op game of the year. That's easy, right?
What are you comparing it to?
Right.
Is there even another one out there?
The game, you know what I love about this game, and I do think it reaches that threshold that we're talking about, where it kind of like goes above the norm, and it just does the wackiest stuff. It's the co-op action together is very inventive and smart. I think it's a really special game, man. I don't think it's another game you see every year, and because you don't.
I feel that's worthy of staying in.
Yeah, I agree.
Resident Evil Village. I feel this is worthy of staying in.
I agree. Resident Evil Village was a good game. Very, very good.
Again, this is another one I haven't played. At any time, my friend's like, hey, when you're ready, you can borrow it and play through it. And I'm about to do that. But I'm trying to finish other things because I know I'm at least going to sit 20 hours with it, right? I don't know how long it is.
No, it's a little shorter than that. I think I spent about like 12, 13 hours with it, something like that. It wasn't that long.
Okay, cool. Mm-hmm. I'm playing Nier Replicant, which we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to
that. But once I play that, then I'm playing Resident Evil Village. So I'll choose between those two, and I went with Nier first. But anyway, I'm keeping that in. That sounds, just by reception I'm hearing, that sounds worthy. Okay.
Definitely worth it.
Psychonauts 2. This is a huge personal thing.
Still have to finish
I'm still thinking that this may be the winner, okay?
Yep, it could be.
It's huge for me. So I'm definitely keeping that, but I need you to play it so I can see where you're standing there.
Yep.
Now,
I'm going to play
there's plenty of other people that are just like, it's good, not great kind of situation, or 7, 8 sort of range. I'm throwing 10 out of 10, one of the best things I've ever played. I don't know why. I just, I love it. I just think it's the creativity insane. So anyway, keep going here. Tales of Arise. That is, at least with me, you haven't played it
this year. I don't think I'm going to get to that game this year. There's like no way.
So I don't know. I mean, I love it, and it's hard for me. Anyway, we'll get there. But there's a few games here I'm dissecting between which one. That's also in there that I can't decide. Do I like this one over the rest and all that? Right. Keeping that in. Deathloop, I haven't played it. I don't know. I haven't played it.
Maybe we'll have to pick a few of these games.
I'm not interested in Deathloop.
Maybe we'll have to pick a few of these games that we can at least try before we get to this conversation. You know, like, hey, let's try Deathloop out for an hour each or something. Freaking return it if we have to. You know, like I think we have to try some of these because I do want to see what Deathloop's all about because some people really love that game. So we'll have to see.
I mean, okay, is there at least what other game haven't you played?
Okay, so on this list, I have not played Hitman 3. Which I'm going to be honest, I'm not going to get to because I played Hitman 1. I haven't played 2 yet.
I don't feel that's worthy of the conversation anyway. Okay.
So I played Bravely Default, Returnal, Ratchet and Clank, It Takes Two, Resident Evil Village. Psychonauts 2, I'm with 1,000% certainty going to play. It's just
okay. Tales of Arise, definitely. We could kind of swap there. What I was thinking, because can't you just like share a game on Steam or something like that?
I think there's a way to do it. I'm not 100% certain, but I'm telling you, you can always do the 2-hour refund policy. I mean, I don't usually do it, but you can if you needed to. You could do.
But that's the problem, though. Deathloop. I don't know if you would get enough.
An hour?
You would barely understand it, and then return it.
I'm gonna play Deathloop no matter what. So if I could, let's see, how much is it going for on my favorite website, CD Keys? Take a look real quick. It is $44 on CD Keys. It's not that bad.
Okay. It's better.
But if we can find a way to share, then maybe we could just buy both of them or something.
I was thinking like I buy one, you buy one, we somehow share.
I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna pull it up so we can look after. Like I'll say like Steam game sharing, and we'll take a look after the podcast.
Okay.
Figure out because that'd be awesome.
I feel you need to somehow play Tales of Arise. You don't need to play much of that. I feel you can. It unloads a lot in the beginning. You can play. I say you got to give it 2 hours. Play 2 hours, and I feel you could have a good idea on the game. And
so maybe we'll have a week where we do that. You know, where we compare
Deathloop. I don't know if 2 hours is enough because the problem with that game is you're too limited in the beginning and it starts to open up more and more, and you're not going to see enough of the systems 2 hours in to be able to judge. Tales of Arise, you would know all of the system 2 hours in.
Sure, that makes sense. So we'll see. Maybe we can pick 1 week where we say, okay, this week we're only playing Deathloop and Tales of Arise, and just give our thoughts. And who knows, maybe I might love Deathloop and I will continue playing it, or maybe I won't, and so on. So we'll see.
Tales of Arise, definitely in the conversation. I am blown away by it. I mean, it's one of the best Japanese RPGs I've played. I'm trying to think of the last one. I mean, it's definitely better than Final Fantasy 15. I'm trying to think of the last crazy good. Persona 5 is crazy good, but I like Tales of Arise way more than that even.
That's awesome.
I'm trying to think. I don't know. It's been a long... I can't really think of one that did this good. Metroid Dread, this is one of those
definitely up there.
It could win.
Definitely possible, for sure. And I don't think anyone would have a good reason that they could articulate why that game should not win. So that's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Life is Strange 2 Colors. So I've played every other Life is Strange but this. I played 2. I played Before the Storm. I played the original.
I wanted to add it because I feel that it is a really good game. It's probably the best Life is Strange game so far.
That's
Me
cool.
Personally, I probably won't pick it, but I could totally see someone picking it because if you loved Life is Strange 1,
someone getting attached to the characters that much to where they just love it above the rest, I could see. Because I got really attached to other characters and I was throwing it in the conversation, but I eventually ditched it.
Yep. It's a really solid. I don't think anyone would disagree with me that it's the best one for sure.
Okay, cool.
Because I saw people talking about the year Life is Strange came out. I remember people thinking that might be their favorite game of the year. So then I could see possibly someone picking this. So I don't know. That one I'm on the fence about. I'll leave that one up to you. What you want to decide with that. And nothing's set in stone right now anyway. So yeah,
I mean, I'm just adding little marks to it. But right now, no. But I haven't played it. I played all the others. I feel I know what to expect, but if you're saying it's even better than the rest, I mean, I still want to play it. I mean, I could at least play the first chapter and get a grasp of it. Little Nightmares 2, I did play this. I really liked it.
I thought this game was fantastic, man.
That's more of I might like it a little more than Ratchet and Clank.
I think it's way better than Ratchet and Clank, personally.
But
I think it's definitely one of the best on this list.
But like Bravely Default 2, I'm kind of liking more than Little Nightmares 2.
Okay, that's fair. I you know what I loved about Little Nightmares 2 is, okay, while I love Bravely Default 2, I think Little Nightmares takes, a good 4 to 5 hour experience. It throws so many twists and turns at you. It tells a good story without even saying one freaking word the whole time.
It's far more creative.
Yeah, way more creative. It looks beautiful. The atmosphere. I mean, look at this like teacher who follows your head. Freaking goes. Her head stretches.
I love it. I love it. I
just love so much about this game.
I don't know. When I think of these others, like when I'm thinking of Psychonauts, I don't want to put length into it, but just hear me out here.
Yeah.
When I'm playing Psychonauts 2 and it's 20, 30 hours and it's crazy creativity like Little Nightmares, but it gives you so much more of it, and it starts going way more in depth on like so many new characters you meet, these little chapters that like Little Nightmares 2 almost feels like
one chapter of it.
Yeah.
So I could see why an argument as to why you think Psychonauts 2 is better than Little Nightmares. But again, I don't think the length is the be all end all, right? Because you have a game.
It's not. It's more of
I think Resident Evil Village is a really good game, but I think Little Nightmares 2 is better in quality, but it's shorter. So then you got to kind of start picking and choosing.
Yeah.
So that's personally how I feel about that game. I'll definitely fight for that game when we get to the end of the year. For
sure. Okay, so we're going to be fighting of Returnal, It Takes Two, Resident Evil Village, Psychonauts 2, Tales of Arise, Deathloop, Metroid Dread, Little Nightmares.
I'll probably agree with you on Psychonauts 2.
There's a lot there still that we can't cut. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, sorry. Let's keep going here.
Yeah,
Nier Replicant.
Fantastic
now,
game. I will fight someone who tries to remove this game.
This may be the one for me. I don't know. I'm only 5 hours in, but I'm like, woohoo!
I forgot it came out this year, to be honest. That's the only reason why I hadn't originally put it in. But it is fantastic.
I was a huge fan of Automata. I'm saying but. There shouldn't be a but here. But I don't know. I'm feeling this is even better. I don't know why I'm feeling that, because everyone else says the opposite.
I think they're both amazing.
For me, this is doing way more for me. Dude, it's hard for me to figure out why.
Let me tell you. Here's all you need to know, right? Oh shoot, I didn't mean to do that. I'm trying to write the version name, right? So I want to tell you. It seems
a lot more. How do I put this? A lot more in depth in everything that's in this game. Every screen you're in, there's purposely put stuff of super high importance. Everything feels way more important when I'm playing Replicant. Everything feels like literally this random girl just running through the village and says some basic line like, I hope you have a good day today. Somehow feels crazy important.
Yep.
In the grand scheme of things, just knowing, because I guess it's because I played Automata and I know where it's heading. I know the under-earthings of what's going on, and you can't say it because you'll spoil way too much.
Of course, yeah.
But now I put so much weight on every tiny thing as I'm playing through it, and I'm like, man, this is way more important than anyone would ever realize if they didn't play Automata.
The game in every aspect of the game. The only part of the game I'll say is does not have a ton of purpose put into it. Is some of the side quests are throwaway side quests. Okay, that was a product of its time. That's fine. But everything else, every little interaction you have, every character. Now, let me tell you how I can tell you why this is true with one little thing, right? The name of the game is Nier Replicant version 1.2247, whatever, the whole thing, right? So I figured out that I didn't figure this out myself, but just looking around the internet, I figured out that this number, the square root of this number is 1.5, which is Nier version 1.5. So like they even do shit like that. Like even the title of the game, you know what I mean? Like they just every little piece of the game has some little underlying message. It's just a fantastic game, man. So we'll talk definitely more about that.
So
and wait till you finish it, man.
It just happened, and I got a question. I'm always hearing this like beeping alarm thingy in the background. What is that in your house? There, I just heard it.
I can tell you exactly what it is. It's a stupid box that Verizon put here, right? And I completely forgot about that, by the way. Anyway, I called Verizon. I'm like, hey, my box is like, it says low battery, like it's dying. Like, what can I do? They're like, oh, that's only if you have like phone service through it, so you don't have to worry about it. I'm like, all right, but can I remove it? Because it's really annoying. They're like, yeah. I go to open it, and it needs like some specific tool or something to open it. So I'm hoping it'll just die. I just hope it dies soon. It's really annoying.
I've been wondering that for months because I'm always hearing it when I'm editing. I'm like, what is that?
It's every 15 minutes it goes off. I'm about to just break this thing.
Okay.
So annoying. Anyway, Nier Replicant. Wait till the fact that hearing you play Nier Replicant and talking about it and like, oh my god, I just noticed this or notice this. It's like so fun for me to hear someone go through it themselves.
And I'm barely saying. I'm noticing way more than I'm putting out. And
but keep saying it because I love it. Even if I'm not responding to everything, I'm just in my head. I'm like, oh man, I can't wait till we talk about this game.
It's insane. So there's so much.
It's incredible. It's an incredible game.
Wow. So yeah, I mean that's definitely in there.
Definitely.
Can a Breath of Spirits? This needs to be in the conversation, but I'm also kicking it because there's too many problems with it. I love it. I love the world. The issues just shine too bright as I'm playing, and I can't get it out of my head.
Yep.
I love the little PS2 aesthetic to it all. I love the little creatures. Combat is fun. I mean, there's so much to it that's good.
Right.
But it's not Game of the Year.
Good game with a lot of potential, but definitely not.
It's one of those to where like the sequel could really nail it.
Yeah. Yep. Agreed.
Yeah.
I'm in agreement with that one.
Far Cry 6, I don't know. I haven't played it. Yeah. I'm not a hater. Too many people are hating. I do want to play it.
Yeah, but it's not Game of the Year.
I don't feel it's going to shake me to my core or like it's no Nier. You know?
I wanted to put it on there because I think it's a very well-made game. We just give it a shout out, but no, I don't think it's going to be the Game of the Year. So that's I guess that's our short list for now. And
where are you at? I'm at Psychonauts 2, Tales of Arise, Metroid Dread, Nier Replicant.
So I'm at Returnal. I haven't finished Psychonauts 2, but I played Psychonauts 1, and what I played Psychonauts 2 indicates that it definitely will be up there. So Psychonauts 2, Metroid Dread, Little Nightmares 2, Nier Replicant, and that's it. Those 5 are the ones that are in my head right now. But before I even go to the part of here's the games that are coming later this year, there's only one game that I think is going to be up here, and we all know what it is, obviously. So we'll get into that in a minute. That's my guy. And I love when a game can not even their single player, their multiplayer is what I think is Game of the Year worthy, without even knowing anything more.
We'll get there because I do want to say.
Sorry, I'm giving away too much. Right.
Games are coming out later this year that we feel will be worthy. We have yet to play, obviously. It haven't came out. Guardians of the Galaxy is right around the corner.
Yeah.
It's the 24th of us recording. It comes out the 26th.
Very exciting.
I'm seeing awesome things. There was a little first 30 minutes of gameplay. I skimmed through, saw maybe 2 minutes total, and was like, okay, I can't watch anymore because this is looking crazy good, and I don't want to spoil it for me, even the first 30 minutes.
Yep.
Because, man, does it look crazy good. Crazy good. Let's put it this way, and I think I said it in our chat, but I'm excited that games are looking better and better the longer these systems have come out, right? Yep. And even though this game is coming to last gen, which I wish it wouldn't because it could be even grander,
right?
But you can tell I'm like, wow, this is one of the best looking games I've seen.
Sure.
And the small attention to detail when you're like walking around your room and you're looking on your desk and seeing all the little things. Okay, like Life is Strange is really good about that.
Mm-hmm.
Of
it is
putting you into the time frame of the characters just by what's in the room. Or what's in any room in any part of the game or whatever. This is going to like the 10th degree of this. I mean, the amount of huge attention to detail on every little tiny object.
Okay, cool.
Far more than Life is Strange has ever done. I mean, this is incredible.
I think if this game is as good as people are making it seem like it's going to be, I think
there's a part where you see inside the ship.
Yep.
That ship is the most highly detailed ship we've ever seen in a video game by far. It's not even close.
If there was an award for like the sneak attack game of the year or something, it'd be this one because I including myself, I'll be honest, this game I don't think it looks bad, but in my head I'm not looking at it and being like, oh my god, this looks amazing, and I hope to be blown away by it.
You need to see that video.
Yeah,
because we're just seeing like crazy fast highlights of them playing, and
right.
Once it actually just starts actually going at the pace the game goes, and you just noticing all the small attention to detail, it's insane.
Wow,
Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm blown away.
Guardians of the Galaxy is only $45 on CD keys, by the way. PC Master Race all day, baby. My God.
All right. I really badly want to play that, and I will. So here's the thing. So I'm getting my Xbox Series X, and I think November 8th or 9th, somewhere in there. right whenever I get that, that's the first thing I want to like showcase the X, because seeing that video, I mean, this is looking like it's kind of blowing me away. It's awesome. Forza Horizon 5, November 9th. I'm very hyped on this. Yep. I don't know if you're a big racing guy. I don't think you are.
But I can recognize that those games are clearly good games, very well made games.
And this looks like a huge step forward. I mean, the last one did come out a while ago. I want to say 2018. So it's been a good like 3 years or so. And we've come a long way since 2018 in terms of tech. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like the great video cards we have now, the CPUs we have now, these new systems, all of this stuff. We're far ahead of what we were when 4 came out. And you can tell when you're seeing any video of this. Digital Foundry just got a hold of it. They dissected it. They're saying they're blown away by it. They dissect everything on planet Earth. And if they're super, super shocked and surprised by it, that's saying something. So I don't know. I'm really, really excited. The game looks like they're using... Basically, they're actually going to Mexico and they're scanning the environment with some crazy thing that exists. I don't know how they do it. I saw video of it taking place. It's almost like we're in Star Wars and it does a and it shows like this green light that scans the whole environment, and then they're able to save it and then import it in. So you get every little pebble, every little curve in the environment, everything. Anyway, they throw it in, and whenever you see it actually taking place, I mean, I don't know. It's one of the best looking things I've ever seen. Like I was saying, Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, you're really starting to see the power of these systems.
I see.
Especially with these two games. That isn't why Forza Horizon 5 could be in the conversation. I mean, graphics are cool and all, but the bigger thing is, holy crap, it's an amazing racing game. No one can really touch it right now. It's kind of weird. We're in this spot to where like Gran Turismo's coming, and I don't think you can really do much to touch Forza. So, Shin Megami Tensei 5, November 12th. Now, I don't know about this. I played 4. I really liked it. I never played any of the others. Right. I really like Persona. I'm not really huge into the Shin Megami Tensei main core games or anything, even though I did like 4. But that was 3DS, so it's kind of hard to enjoy nowadays.
Right.
So I have something there. The development team for this, they're really good at, I guess, polish. I don't know. It's almost like playing just a top tier dev game, like a Kojima game or like a Miyamoto game or something like that. The people who create these games, they're phenomenal at what they do. And I do feel, because this is something we haven't, again, it's been since 3DS days, since last we even had one. Now we're getting something current. This could be a sneaker that blows people away. I feel it's got some potential there, so I wanted to list it. I don't know. We won't know.
I'll wait for some reviews on that one. Yeah, I'm gonna see what I think, because I haven't really ever gotten into any of these. So
it's a super iffy one because there's so little info and so much. It could go so many ways, but it's worth mentioning. Final Fantasy 14 Endwalker, November 23rd. Now,
it's gonna be huge.
This game's gonna be huge. Okay, it's gonna sell gangbusters. They always do. 1 million people are going to play it. They're going to love it. It's hard for me to imagine me saying an MMO is going to be my favorite game of the year.
Right. Especially an expansion, technically, I guess.
And then this last one here, this could definitely win it. Definitely. Halo Infinite, December 8th.
We've spoken at length about this and how great it is.
What is cool, I mean, multiplayer alone, it could win, but I actually like that I don't know much about the single player.
Yeah.
I actually like that they're keeping it really secretive and all that. Now, it's probably because they're super, super panicking and they're really, 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 really trying to get it
trying to get
perfect as possible. And they don't want to show it at all because they're working so hard. Because, look, when you have to show something off, no one seems to understand this. When you have to show something off, you're basically throwing away like 3 weeks of development time.
Right.
Because now you got to be like, okay, well, now we got to put this new thing together when we could be actually working on it.
Right.
Just so we can show it. And I don't think it's worth it because it's December 8th. It's too close. Keep grinding. Right. Keep grinding. We don't need to see it.
Keep working until the last minute. If you show it without taking time away from your staff, then people are going to complain that it doesn't look as good as it should, right? Because it's going to be not prepared.
I think the only way you may be able to is if you brought in some people from the outside to see if they can put something together, just to show somebody maybe.
Right.
But I don't think that's possible because, I mean, realistically, think about it. Okay, we're there. Okay, we're in the office. well, I need assets from all of these different people to put something together. So I got to go to the art people. I got to sit here and like go to the composers. I got to go to all these people and pull stuff from each one of them that they're willing to also give me in a presentable fashion as well. And they're like, man, but this little thing keeps happening with this. I don't want to hand it off. I don't want this to be shown when I could have fixed it tomorrow. And please just leave me alone. I don't know. I'm just imagining them not being in a situation, because it sounds like why would they have delayed the co-op if they weren't hustling as fast as possible to get this done? I don't feel that would have taken place. So I feel they're too close to the wire. So I feel they need to be left alone.
I think they know what they're doing, and that's
my take there.
They're just making sure that they don't get the bad press and things don't go horrible. So let them do it.
Yeah. I've seen images, I don't know if you have, where it actually shows like an overworld map kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
And it looks kind of open worldy.
It was.
Have you seen that?
We saw an part of the map when they first revealed it. Remember when they first showed the campaign a long time ago? Like 2 years ago when they showed it and people were like, oh my God, it looks horrible. Remember that?
Yeah.
They showed a little bit.
But anyway.
I thought it looked fine. I don't think the graphics were where I would expect, but the game itself looked fine to me. I thought it looked fun. And
the reveal was like a year before they said it was going to come out.
Well, right? I think it was, because
they showed it was going to come out 2020 end of the year, and they showed it at the end of 2019. I still feel there was a whole nother year development time.
No, I think I want to say it was late. Why did I think it was in 2020 that they showed it?
I don't think so.
Let's double check. Hold on.
2018, dude.
No way. Hold on.
Yes. No. Halo Infinite E3 2018 announcement trailer. That was the one.
No. See, you're thinking of a different one. I found it right here. Halo Infinite campaign gameplay premiere 8-minute demo in 2020, July. With the guy who everyone was making fun of. Here, I'll show you right here. Look.
Campaign gameplay premiere. Okay, I do see it.
Yeah, that one is the one that people were like, first of all, if you go to...
It is that. Okay, yeah. It's July 2020.
Yeah, go to 305.
That is close. Yeah.
So, go to 305 and look at that map shot. It looks great. It looks really cool. Like, I think that's awesome.
This is what I was thinking.
Yep.
This looks amazing.
Yeah, I love that.
Yes. But they showed video of someone actually selecting things, and I want to say they even showed someone in like a vehicle fly into a certain thing.
Right.
They went more into this, and the more recent map I saw was even way more depth to that.
Yeah, I'm watching the video a little bit now, and even looking at it a year and a half later, I don't think it looks horrible. I think it looks more refined now.
Stuff is popping in a ton.
Right. I see stuff like that.
Texture's a little weird, but
it has its issues, but it's not like this is so terrible. It looks horrible.
The ideas there are so good.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be great, man. I don't think there's anything to worry about. So.
But hey, whatever. I'm kind of glad that all went down because we're getting it way later, and they put way more time into this.
Yep, they totally.
I mean, think if it would have released 2020 instead of now. I mean, it would be half the game that it is today. So I'm actually pretty excited about that. Anyway, so out of all those, yes, I mean, I'm gonna say Halo Infinite.
Very strong chance.
It's gonna be like a Forza Horizon 5 for me. I mean, I'd be really surprised if it doesn't. But God, it's hard not to include one of the coolest racing games I've ever seen. So,
what if Halo Infinite comes out and it has the multiplayer is even better than we thought? It's perfect. It's everything we ever wanted, but the campaign is not bad. Is it fair for me to still say I think this is the game of the year? Like, I don't.
I mean, it's all. Well, is it all personal? I don't know. Where are our lines on like? Are we trying to be? Hey, we need to going into in a manner of we're speaking for the people and we just need to be critics, or are we speaking from our hearts? I don't know.
I feel that people do it backwards all the time. People pick a single player game as their game of the year that has a multiplaer component, and no matter how good or bad it is,
they're like, the multiplayer's bad, but
so
why can't it be the other way around?
Flip it the other way, right? So
yeah.
That's just personally how I see. Some people look at Halo and they think it's a single player game that has multiplayer. I look at it backwards. I think it's a multiplayer game at its core.
Yeah, I mean,
it has a single player.
My importance was my multiplayer for sure. I mean, that's what I think when I think Halo. So yeah, I'm with you. Not that, I mean, I played all of them, beat all of them on Legendary, even though, like I said in the past, I think Legendary is kind of dumb because all they do is just like, oh, now they got more health and it takes way more bullets for them to die. That's literally all they do. I mean, I guess they're a little more aggressive.
No, yeah.
The AI doesn't change that much. Basically, instead of them waiting a while and then running towards you, they just instantly run towards you. That's not really that hard. That's no advanced AI improvement there.
That's just like a simple thing. Okay.
That seems pretty basic. I want to go on to the news here now.
Yes.
And the first big thing, which we already talked a lot about when it comes to God of War, what that means for PC gaming. But in general, I still wanted to talk about what God of War is bringing to PC and what the game will be there, because it's going to now be 4K res, unlocked frame rates, which unlocked is huge because even still you were doing 60. Deal. Yeah, now you're doing 120, 144, or whatever you can do.
I don't think I played it at 60, if I'm not mistaken. They added the 60 patch later, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
so I didn't play 60 either, so I only played 30.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Right? Imagine, too, like, I think your PC would be capable of 120, right?
Yeah, I think so.
We'll see. Ultra wide support as well. So
it's gonna be awesome, man. I can't wait.
Now, ultra wide. Do you have an ultra wide display?
I don't, only because I've heard how difficult it is with some games to make it work right and all that. So I don't really want to mess with all that.
There's not many games that support. It's kind of a bigger deal when it does the case. So even if you got one, you would be limited. So I don't know. And then you have to worry about, like, well, what about the higher refresh rate plus an ultra wide? You're paying like 3 times the amount you normally would. If it was me, I would just ditch ultra wide and not worry about it. Now, what I'm curious, what if you got 2 monitors? Can you support it in a way where the 2 become 1 and then it now is ultra wide? How does that work?
I know you can do it with 3. I don't know about 2 for sure. So I'd have to double check on that, but you can definitely do the 3. But I like having the second monitor for something separate, like instead of having one big screen, you know? So
Yep. Me too. I was just curious.
Yeah. I'm not 100% sure. I had a friend who did the 3 screens though for a long time, and he said it was a pain too. Like, it was cool whenever it would work, but some games it wouldn't work right. Some games there'd be black spots and so on. So
yeah, and I don't want black bars and all that mess too.
No way.
Yeah.
So
and at the top, like when you do ultra wide, a lot of times wouldn't it add black bars at the top and bottom?
Sometimes, yep.
So anyway,
from what I understand. So anyway, not something I'm interested in.
Regardless, but God of War coming to PC. It's January 14th, so it's very soon.
Can't wait.
Again, this is the biggest PlayStation exclusive, I think. I mean, even Spider-Man, like, that seems like it would be more likely just because of how popular Spider-Man is, and yeah, it's a Sony property, but I mean, I can't think of a series more important to PlayStation than God of War. Is there one? I mean, maybe like Twisted Metal or something, but we haven't seen that in ages. I don't really.
Not for PlayStation's whole life, but for the PS3 on, I'd say Uncharted has become a really big part of Playstation. So
and Uncharted is PC. Too. So
yeah.
So PlayStation's all in. I mean, they got to be at this point.
Oh yeah. I think they're having meetings. They're probably seeing, Death Stranding sold pretty well on PC, and so did Days Gone, and such and such. So maybe they're like, okay, well, why not? I mean, we want more money. This is going to get us more money. So,
but yeah, imagine going from 30 FPS on God of War to now 120. It's going to be awesome. So,
I don't think there are a large number of people that fall in the category that I'm in, which is if you make all your PlayStation games on PC, I'm not buying a PlayStation anymore. I think there's some people like that, but I don't think they're going to lose a tons of people like that. People are still going to play on console. And people still play on PC, you know, for the most part.
Yeah. I agree. You're going to maybe win, I don't know, a few thousand sales. That's about it.
But you'll be selling way more copies of your game because
you're going to be selling millions.
Right.
And maybe affecting a few thousand that would get a little butthurt or something. It's such a small minority that would even... It's not worth having that conversation.
Yeah, agreed.
But yeah, it's huge. Elden Ring got delayed till February.
This is this is very common with From Software. 1 month delay, and the game comes out, and it's awesome. It's happened with Bloodborne. I believe it happened with Dark Souls 3. I don't remember Sekiro.
They're trying to be like perfectionists, and they're noticing, we're getting a little too close to the date. There's a few things wrong here. Let's push it a little. But it also brings confidence that it's actually going along well, right? Because if it wasn't, it would be a bigger delay. Why would it only be 1 month? Yeah.
1 month delays. Every time I see it, I'm like, this is actually a good sign. This is like them polishing things up, and it's coming out when they say it's going to come out. So
because I can't think of any other reason, right? I mean, that's the only possible reason outside of like maybe moving away from a really popular game. But Elden Ring doesn't have to worry about that. They're the most popular ones. So
you're not going to change the whole game in a month, obviously. But I will say I am pretty excited for the network test they announced as well. The only thing that sucks is I'm going to be away that weekend. Like we're going with a bunch of friends to like Airbnb we rented and all this. I'm like,
I have for November. What's the actual dates?
I'll tell you. I believe it's November. Is it 12th or 13th? Let me see right now. I have it in my phone.
Is it a weekend?
Yes.
Okay.
12th. It starts on the 12th, I think, into the 13th and 14th, something like that. Anyway, the point is, I'm going to be away for the weekend. And I was like, I'm definitely bringing my PS5. I'm sorry. I just need to try this at some point when everyone's having fun, everyone's talking, having drinks. I'm going to be over there trying this demo. I can't. There's no way I can miss this.
So I mean, are you going to like, is it camping? I mean, what are you like?
A bunch of our friends and my wife and myself are going for a weekend to like, we rented this house.
Okay.
So it's going to be something like that. But no, there's no way.
You got to bring your PlayStation and try it out. You don't have to actually like play with anyone. You just need to see how the game is. Yeah.
That's all I want to do. I can't miss that. So I'll do that at some point. But there's like windows of time like Halo was. So I got to make sure I check on those times.
Oh, okay. So it's not all day. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yep. That's okay. Well, good luck with that.
Yeah, thank you. See how that goes.
Something huge is going on. Everyone's wanting to invite you, and it's right in that window of the final day. State of Play got announced. What are they showing here? I know Sony has a lot to like. There's not really much coming out soon by them. This is good timing for them, but in terms of prediction levels, I have no idea. We already see Spider-Man and Wolverine and whatever. Like, what could it possibly be? I don't know. A Sly Cooper? I have no idea.
I think this one's going to be more tame for sure because the big one we got last time. I don't think this is going to be crazy. But it says about 20 minutes long.
It wasn't even that long ago whenever we had the big showcase of all the, Knights of the Republic and all that. So
yeah, and it says new looks at previously announced games and some reveals.
Okay.
From Sony studio partners. So no further details. So I guess we'll have to wait and see. When is that one? 5 p.m. Eastern. Okay.
So no big new announcements. It doesn't sound like.
I wouldn't think so.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll be tuning in, check it out, see what it's all about. So.
Yeah. I would usually a State of Play, get hyped, do a video. I'm not going to on this. Yeah. Hopefully it's better than what we're assuming, but I don't know what it could possibly be. So whatever. Next up, Doom Eternal Horde mode. I'm very hyped on this. It's coming out literally today. The 26th. So in like 2 days.
Oh my god, that's so exciting.
I'm off of my date. So the State of Play, October 27th.
That's Wednesday, actually. Yep.
That's Wednesday. It'll be a little after the episode. The episode comes out Tuesday. Doom Eternal Horde mode, the 26th. So that would be.
Man, I didn't even know about this. I love Doom Eternal, so this might make me want to check it out again.
I am for sure because Horde mode's one of my favorite modes in any shooter. I mean, absolutely, like get really hooked when it comes to Horde mode. Now, I'm hoping that it has crossplay because I don't think it does, though. I don't know. Does Doom Eternal have crossplay? I really don't think it does. Now, I may have it on PC. I may have gotten it on a deal and forgot.
Playing Doom Eternal on PC is like another game. It's so awesome, man.
I played it on PC. I just can't remember... What did I buy? Was it through like, because Game Pass, you get all of the Bethesda and all of that. I could have been playing it through that.
I see.
But then I'd still be good because Steam works with that. It's not like when you play multiplayer PC, I don't think it matters if you're using the Windows Store version or using Steam. Yeah. So we'll be able to play. Okay.
Yep.
Cool. Because I for sure was playing 120 Doom Eternal and having a hell of a time. So
man, it's so good on PC. So
dope. Let's play that Horde mode.
Yeah. No, I'm down.
Incredible. Yeah.
Sounds fun. Any excuse that, like, I think of normal Horde modes. I already think Horde modes are usually fun. But the way Doom Eternal plays from moment to moment, it's just like, wow, this is going to be
that
really
would be
great.
a blast. Yeah.
Yep.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I'm down to try that.
This is a big one here. First Uncharted movie trailer was released on the 21st.
Yep.
If I could just ignore the big elephant in the room, it looks like a fun, cool movie, right?
Right.
But the elephant being Tom Holland is not Nathan Drake. He's so tiny.
No, Mark Wahlberg.
He's a little kid.
Mark Wahlberg would have been better as Nathan Drake.
Yeah, what they didn't notice at any time doing the movie, somebody being like, "Hey, doesn't he look like Nathan Drake?"
Like, why?
The guy recorded with him.
I just don't understand why. And again, I'll watch it and maybe it'll be good. I don't know, but why do they always like when they're doing video game movies and they know how tainted that whole idea is and how we all immediately assume it's going to be crap because so many times it is crap. Why don't they just take a little more care and a little more attention to detail? Why? Like, why? I don't
it's
understand.
Sony first party, so they even have more of a reason. In the past, think about it. It's WB, it's Fox, whatever. This is straight up their own company, their own license. And they're like, here's Tom Holland, this 12-year-old playing Nathan Drake. He's a big guy. Like when you're playing the game, what is he? 6? At least 6 feet? Not 6'1", 6'2".
Looks like a 6
I'm not saying he's huge.
No, he's not.
He's bigger, I don't know. He's bigger than I don't know. Tom's way too. It's just weird. It's weird.
It doesn't help that Tom Holland did an interview talking about basically how much he hated doing this movie. I'm like, oh, great. I'm really excited to watch it now.
Now, seeing the trailer, it was, you can tell they put money into it. You can tell that makes no sense what I'm about to say, considering what we just said, but it looks like they actually paid some close attention to detail on things.
On certain things, yeah.
Yeah, like the props, the outfits.
Yep. That stuff is all fine.
The stuff even happening in the scenes. It all looks like real lore stuff. Everything looks legit. But we're staring at Tom Holland playing Nathan Drake, and it's just messing with us too much.
Oh,
and we
man.
can't pay attention to anything else outside of it. So I did. I went and watched the trailer and tried to pretend I wouldn't even look in that direction. And I tried to look everywhere else on screen and see what was happening. And it was like, wow, it's a really good movie, it feels like. It feels like they're really putting a lot into it. So, yeah, I think it's really just that. So, if somehow you could turn that off in your mind when you go see this movie, I think you'll be good. But why are we having to do this? I don't know.
We shouldn't have to, but whatever. I'm going to go watch it. And honestly, if I think it's a fun movie, I'll say so. And if I think it's not, then it won't be. So I guess we'll see. I'm definitely going to watch it, though.
I mean, I guess you could sit there and be like, hey, ignore the one part, but it's like doing a Barney movie, but Barney is what? I don't know, the Terminator or something. Like, but it plays out like Barney otherwise. Like, that's just
Tom Holland all of a sudden is the Black Panther 2. He's the Black Panther.
Exactly. Imagine that, right? Tom Holland is Black Panther, but everything else is exactly how it would be. No one mentions it. It doesn't feel weird, right? In the movie, they shoot it exactly how they would, but he just happens to be Black Panther.
That's
what it's feeling like.
Can you imagine how funny that would be? Oh man. Well, we'll see. We'll see how it turns out.
It's really awkward. Right? It's really awkward. Yeah. It comes out in February.
All right. My wife's birthday is the day before that. That's the present. We're gonna go watch Uncharted. Tom Holland.
I got homework for the viewers. Just watch the trailer again and ignore that one little part that we are talking about, and you'll see a good movie. So I don't know, it's weird. Next up, this I'm super hyped on, way more than I thought I would be. Yep. I was kind of like, but GTA the Trilogy Definitive Edition comes out November 11th, which is really soon. And they showed the trailer. Dude, it is exactly what I wanted. Like I didn't know I wanted this.
I didn't know I wanted it either. That's the thing. When I first heard about this rumor about the GTA trilogy, I'm thinking, okay, it'll maybe be fun to play some of these games again, no big deal. But then when I saw that they actually kind of like made it like more cartoony looking and up-resed it a little bit.
I don't know how to describe it. It's like
I don't know how to describe it either. It looks like Fortnite or something a little bit, honestly. Like the character models. But it doesn't look exactly like that. I don't know. It's weird.
But whenever they pull like an old property, but they still make it look retro, but everything, but it's new stuff. So like it's like the rain is new. It looks like a really cool looking subway, or it looks like really like high detailed road, but the characters have this like, hey, we're older, but we're exaggerating our oldness in a cool way. And I don't know. I think it's really stylistic and really, really neat.
They updated a lot of other things too, not just the graphics, but like the controls are like a GTA 5 style controls now, which is way better, and a lot of other little things like that. So I'm actually pretty excited. I'm just debating on. I think I'm gonna get this on PC. I was thinking about getting PS5 because I don't want to get it on the freaking Rockstar launcher, which is so dumb to me.
I agree.
I don't know if it's gonna come out on Steam as well. I have no idea. I don't think so, but I don't know.
I mean, we could look. It would show at this point if it was on.
You know
Steam
what? You're right. Let's see. GTA. What is it? Definitive something?
Yeah, Definitive Edition. Just look in the Steam store, see if it pops up.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Okay. Weird.
Oh, Rockstar.
But it's also coming to Switch, which would be a really cool place to play.
That would be a cool place to play.
I do want to see the higher graphical detail and all of that.
Right. That's why I'm probably gonna get it on PC.
I would get a PC when it comes to like, people are gonna mod the living crap out of this game.
Yeah.
And I don't like mods that like feel cheaty. I mean, GTA is meant for cheat, so it kind of works with that game. But I still like to play the core thing first and then mess around after the fact. But I still can see. I like when the more aesthetic mods and stuff like that, or the things that can just like, somebody found an issue that they fixed. And all of those little things that community can do kind of makes it worthwhile to get on PC because of all that things that they can rework that may be, even if it's not problematic, just something that's just better balanced or something like that.
Yeah, agreed.
So that's really, really cool. I'm very surprised. I'm very happy. So
I'm very excited. I just begrudgingly downloaded the Rockstar launcher on my computer again. We're back. No, I'm gonna have fun playing those games though, for sure. I never beat 2 of them, which I don't know why that is, but I never beat Vice City and I never beat San Andreas, so I'm very excited to.
Oh, okay, cool.
To get back into
I've played them all, beat them all, but those were back PS2 days. I haven't touched it since.
Yep.
Which is surprising because San Andreas is huge on PC.
Yeah,
but I never touched it there. So
yeah, I'm looking forward.
I'm excited.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool. What is that? November 11th, was it?
Yeah, it's pretty soon.
God, I can't wait. So soon.
I love that we don't have to wait freaking 6 months to a year or something like that.
Yep.
Next up, the maker of Stardew Valley, Concerned Ape, unveiled their next title, Haunted Chocolatier. So, Willy Wonka, but haunted. Coming game has you run in a chocolate shop inside of a castle haunted by ghosts.
Watch them pull this off. It's like some game people love again, like Stardew Valley.
Now, I watch video. It is to the T, exactly Stardew Valley. Graphics and all of that. Like, everything looks identical to Stardew Valley, but it's just a new theme. So
they're just trying to run with that same shtick, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't say that to undersell the game because something looks like something else graphically. I mean, obviously, all the systems could be completely different. So.
Sure.
And if I was them, I'd probably would run with that because you have so many fans of that they may actually like that more, that it's in that same style. So.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Now, new people, I don't know, but they got plenty of fans already.
Oh my God, they have a ton. So
yeah, so I think they're good there. But next up, CD Projekt delays next-gen Cyberpunk 2077 and Witcher 3 versions till next year.
Yep. I mean, that sucks for people who are waiting. I already played it on my PC, so
yeah,
I'm
good. I mean, I'm like, okay, I'm kind of looking forward to it. I'll play it whenever it's there, sort of deal. But I'm not like on the edge of my seat, just super waiting on it.
Yeah,
I'm say just like, oh, that's cool. That's about it.
I'd say if you are going to play them eventually, just play The Witcher when it drops first, because that game, in my opinion, is way better than.
Yeah. I mean, Witcher 3 is like one of the best games of all time, sort of deal. Yeah, Cyberpunk is like, it's a pretty good game, but it's got a lot of issues. And that's basically that.
I did enjoy that game for sure.
I did like it. And I do have to defend it a lot because people act like it's like a 2 out of 10.
Like it's right. People act like it's an actually bad game.
It's not a bad game. It's a good game. They clearly overpromised.
Right.
But it's a good game.
I think anyone who calls that game calls that game bad is out of touch. It's not a bad game. It's got its issues. It's clearly missing something.
They didn't play it and they just listened to people talk about it. But there is people that played it and then getting so mad because they're constantly being like, wait, what? They said this and it's this. They said this and it's this. And they keep doing that the whole time they're playing and then just get so mad and just quit. Or all the bugs and stuff. When I was playing it, I was treating it like it's almost like a Bethesda game. There's so many bugs, so many weird problems with those games, but they can still be fun. I was playing in that headspace, and there's a lot of awesome characters. There's a lot of awesome moments that go down. And
I wish I could have played it with the 30 series cards. I didn't have mine yet at that point to do the.
Oh yeah, you need to try that. I mean, you have the game. You need to just reinstall it and see how it looks. That would be worth it.
Apparently, they took the ray tracing to like a new level. So.
Oh, game has been updated crazily. Now, it's almost like every time they update something, they break something else. So there is still a lot of issues, but in terms of performance and it looking better, it does by a mile look and run a lot better. You're going to have like a lot of mission bugs still and all of this mess. And they fixed 1,000, but there's 1,000 more new ones. So that kind of deal, like I'm saying. Performance visually, you need to try it out on your new card now because I'm telling you, that would be really cool. It's really neat experience. No game has ever really hit that vibe of it feeling that good looking and realistic, I guess.
I agree. I thought that the way they did like the different parts of the cities and here's where all the Jamaicans live, here's where all the Haitians are. And I think they nailed that. Like it felt like a real city. You'd walk into the bar, you hear certain music playing and stuff. I thought
people
they did all
look
that
at you naturally when you're talking to them. They'll look you up and down. Their eyes will go exactly where they should. Their face go where they should. Like
the main characters were done very well, but the NPCs were a little something else. But
but it really sucks you in. It
does. Totally agree.
They've still done things no one else has gotten close to.
Oh yeah.
So I do think it's worth playing. But, hey, it got delayed next year. That's that. Okay, moving on here. Forza Horizon 5 has gone gold. Basically meaning it's going to release on time, and it comes out November 9th. But I just had to add this. It's just worth mentioning because so many games get delayed nowadays.
That's true.
I feel I need to overemphasize whenever, it's coming. So
that's exciting. I don't predict any issues with that game, and I don't predict a bad score at all. I think the game's going to come out. It's going to be great. People are going to love it. I mean, that's what happens every time Forza comes out. So
and they only get better and better. So it's kind of hard. Like it's not going to get worse. So.
Pretty awesome.
PlayStation 5 was the best-selling console last month, ending Nintendo Switch's 33-month streak. They finally did it.
Crazy that they even had a streak that long.
People have moved on. They're not playing baby systems anymore. They're now buying PS5s. So
I saw that caption you put. No more baby games or whatever.
But that's pretty crazy. Now, PlayStation 5, I mean, this has been PlayStation's best-selling system to date, which is wild because every news story you could ever possibly see in any comment is scalpers. Which, of course, they're there. But all that and restraints on even making the systems, they would be making way more if they could. And it's almost like, regardless of all of that, it's still the best.
They're still crushing it, man. They're doing great. So we talked about the scalper thing already. Like it's not stopping anything. It's just more hands are being exchanged. That's all it really is. It comes down to
more money is being exchanged.
Definitely more money. Yep. But that's
I mean, obvious. I'm just gonna repeat it. Why would you buy a system if you're trying to sell it? Okay,
right.
I'm gonna work really hard to buy this system at $500. I got it. All right, I'm gonna sell it more so someone buys. Okay, it sits there for months and months and months, and no one ever buys it. And you're
price goes down.
You're just like, no, I will not move from $1,300.
That makes zero sense.
No, I mean, come on. PlayStation's selling all the time for $850 because that's the market value right now. It'd be higher if people paid more. Okay, but clearly people are buying them. If there's a price attached to it at all, even if it was $1,500 and it's selling, that means people are valuing it at $1,500.
It's all
So,
supply and demand. It's as simple as that. If no one was willing to buy it from this dude at $850, he would bring the price down. I mean, think
yes.
about when you put money up front for something and then you have to be reimbursed after. That sucks. No one likes doing that for a long time. No one likes waiting a year for that. So it makes sense to me. But yeah, all that going on, it looks like they're still obviously crushing it. It's still hard. Whenever I talk to people who don't follow video games and they're like, I say like, oh yeah, my friend's trying to get a PS5 now, still can't get one. They're like, really? What? Still can't get one? I'm like, yeah, that's how bad it is still. So
Yep.
it looks like that's gonna be for a while.
The other side of that coin is, holy crap, Nintendo Switch 33-month streak of the best selling system.
That
Isn't
is crazy.
that wild? I mean, forget that it just got broke. They just went on a 33-month streak. I mean, has any system ever done that of like over the top selling system for that long? I mean, that was that close to 3 years. Yeah, 3 years would be 36, right? Yeah. So
it's craziness.
This close to being 3 years straight of being the top selling, and by a good margin. If you look at the sales, it was a lot of those months were like double of the others.
They'll be back. I think they'll be back on top shortly. I'm sure.
Yeah. It's a crazy story all around. So
yeah.
Final Fantasy 14 team is still working to bring the MMO to Xbox. Discussions have been positive, but I keep I've been seeing these stories for years and years. So I follow this a lot. I mean, I remember reading stories 6 years back when the game was first out, being like a thing. I can tell you what's going on. Okay, I know the lore here. What's happening is Sony PlayStation, okay, specifically like with this game, they got it cross-play working with PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5. They had it PS3, PS4, and then they dropped PS3, and then just did PS4. Now the PS4, PS5, PC, and it's all working in one system, right? If they were to do they'd almost have to rework all of that. You know how hard it was to get cross-play going back when Sony wouldn't allow it and all that?
Yeah,
and this was like the only game that pretty much did it.
That's true.
But it was so big and important for them that did it. But even Fortnite took them ages to budge. So it's kind of wild that they let Final Fantasy do it, but not Fortnite. It's kind of weird. But I guess Fortnite involves other systems where this was still just PlayStation and PC. So they're a little more, okay, we'll do it. But it's hard to develop on PlayStation, okay? It just is. Right. And there's too many systems now because they finally got the crossplay working with PS4, PS5, PC, and they almost have to like rebuild the whole way they made it all work to allow the rest of the platforms to now come in because it's so locked into that one type. And that's basically what they're talking about. But Xbox has basically been begging to get it on because they know it's huge. Of course you'd be begging to
get it working. They know it's going to be a ton of extra people and money for them. My God, that would be huge.
Yeah. So they keep trying. And Yoshida, the guy who runs it, he isn't against it. He's saying he's all for it. It's just hard. He's said it multiple times. So, I guess eventually they'll get it working, and maybe they've been working on it in the background this whole time, trying to figure out ways to make it happen. And that seems to be what's going on. So.
I guess we'll see how that one turns out. Hopefully the people get it. The more people playing that game, the better. So
yeah. All right. Moving on. They did a DC fandom. It was about maybe 2 weeks ago at this point. I can't remember when it was.
Something like that.
I think it was last Saturday.
Was it? Okay, so about a week ago.
Yeah. They showed first of all the movie, the Batman trailer. You saw that, right?
Yep, I did.
It looks good.
I think it looks cool. I want to see more as we get closer. Obviously, more trailers, see more what it's about. But
it's hard to tell because it's very just like so many cuts and just we can see the visual static of the movie, and that's about it at this point. We don't really know what's going on.
It's very much a teaser, first trailer.
Yeah. But it looks really good.
It does.
Do you have any objection to the main actor?
I don't. I've seen him in other movies. I know his claim to fame for a while was Twilight stuff and all that, but I've seen him in other movies, and I think he's a good actor. So, hey, I'm willing to give him a shot,
Because I mean, I am a Twilight hater, but I don't hate the actors. I mean, that's something that's going a little far.
Yeah. I think he could very well do a great job at this. We'll see. I never thought Heath Ledger was going to be a good Joker at first, but I learned my lesson. After he obviously did it, he was amazing at it. So
I mean, think of like Magneto or Gandalf when the same dude playing those of like the actors that come from a big theatrical background and can be a lot more expressive and all that, and which is Twilight's very drama heavy.
Oh yeah.
So those actors honestly have the best chops when it comes to doing whatever sort of movie, because like the better you can do drama, the better you can do the rest, I feel.
Yep. I'm definitely looking forward to that one though.
The same event though, they showcase Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. This looks dope. Did you see the game one? Did you see this? Did you see Gotham Knights?
Yeah, so I saw the Justice League, the Kill the Justice League. I saw that. Yeah. It looks cool. I didn't see the Gotham Knights because I have this thing where if I don't play the games beforehand, I know it probably has nothing to do with it. I feel like I can't watch it. I need to play the Batman games. I still haven't played those games. I haven't all.
Well, hold on. Here's what's going on though. So you're actually good. So Kill the Justice League is Rocksteady people who did the previous Batman games. Okay. Right. This Gotham Knights is not them. So Gotham Knights is its own new thing. It is not. It is not connected
or anything. Okay.
No.
Okay.
It's a whole new separate thing. So you're good.
Okay, good.
Kill the Justice League actually is a part of that if you want to connect it in that way.
I see. Okay.
It's not what you would think. Gotham Knights is the new one.
I see.
Which is kind of weird, the fact that they're like no longer Batman. Yeah.
Okay.
So you're good on that front. Now, they both looked great. Actually, I hate this because I love Rocksteady a whole bunch, but I'm actually more hyped on Gotham Knights when I saw that, because they're doing the God, what do they call it? The owl people, the secret society.
Oh yeah. I don't know what they're called, but I know what you're talking about.
They're going into all of that. I'm very, very hyped because that stuff I think is like the best Batman lore you could possibly do, and they're picking that as their premise. So that has me hyped. Now they're both 4-player co-op sort of games, and neither one of them have we actually got to see gameplay still. Both the trailers are just like story, informational stuff. Now, I think both of them showed in-engine stuff. We know how it actually looks. It's not cinematics anymore. But we still haven't seen how just the normal game plays out when you're just playing it. So I'm curious there. But they're both looking super strong, and I am a little more on Gotham Knights because of that. Just deciding what they're doing with the theme there.
I need to take more of a look at Gotham Knights. I saw the initial trailer and I haven't seen anything since, so I gotta take a look at that one, see what I think.
They're both crushing it in terms of getting the vibes exactly right.
Okay, that's good.
And Kill Justice League, super dope. They got they're doing the same thing all these games do. I am getting over the tripe at this point of Superman's evil. Flash is evil.
Let's switch it up. Yeah.
So they're all. So like Green Lantern, Flash, and Superman, who they showed. I think they showed like a Wonder Woman little tease thing. So all of these, they're going to be fighting, and they're going to be evil versions of them. And Suicide Squad is actually there to kind of save the day. So they're there to actually kill the Justice League, but it'll actually help people out because they're now evil or whatever.
I see.
So they're technically the good guys, you know.
Right. Flipping the script a little bit. Okay, I get it.
Yeah. But I'm just kind of over evil Superman.
Well, they've done that so many times now. It's like,
okay, so what would be really cool is if they have us believing this, but then Superman's the only one out of the rest of the crew that actually turns good first or something like that.
That would be actually really cool.
And then they can like make Superman a little more important because a lot of people crap on him all the time and just kind of toss him aside. And what if he turns good and actually plays a role?
I'm going to laugh if the game comes out and that's what happens.
I want that to happen. Okay. I need something unexpected. I just don't want the same old, they're evil.
Well, we all know you work for Double Fine. You know, the other guy's the imposter. So
right. Yeah. I'm a lot more creative than him, apparently. Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Free discovery tour mode is now live if you own the game. If you don't own the game, it's $20. But man, they should charge more. It is insane.
So tell me about this. What is Discovery Tour? What is that?
So it just came out a few days ago, and it takes the engine of Valhalla, whatever, but it's now almost like the History Channel version of Valhalla. So now it is nothing but the actual what happened out during those times, like for real. So any of the things you see, any of the things that go down, they're all pulling from real actual situations in the past.
Oh,
so
it's really cool.
Okay, the first two ones, they also did a discovery tour for the ones prior, Origins and Odyssey. They did a really, really good job. But this, they're doing something new where they're making a game out of the discovery tour. So now, outside of just like walking around and seeing the stuff and learning, it's adding a story mode to it as well. So there's no combat, but there's still decisions. It's just, think of a walking simulator sort of game.
Gotcha.
But so you'll switch between multiple characters, and it has different chapters, and it's telling a big story. Think of, I don't know, Life is Strange. Very much.
Right. I get it. All right, that sounds cool.
I love it. I like a lot. I like it more than the actual game.
That thing's just because
it's so cool. So you'll walk up to some crazy object, and you can like click on it, and it give you a big rundown on the origins of this symbol, what it means, where it came from, show you real photos of people, if it's still something they have in a museum today, the shot in the museum, or if it's something like of a old photo that they were able to find an old scroll and then show you it that way, whatever they got to do. But they're just giving you all this information on how it all worked. They show you maps of how things laid out at that time. The towns themselves are all laid out in the way they would be in the time. So from all of it, when you're just walking through, you're just, the fact that you know this is how it actually was. They have moments to where, okay, they used to do the thing with beehives to get the honey out. They would like smoke them out and stuff. And so like when you walk out of the town, you'll see stations set up of that, and you can. But you're learning so much and how they dealt with, like, okay, you can learn about paper, like because their issue is they have all of this stuff they've been writing for thousands of years, but when they use normal wood paper, the stuff would eventually disintegrate, and then now we have all these lost records, and they're trying to figure out how to solve that. So during this time, they started using animal skin, and it would last way longer than normal paper would. So then the king during that time in this one city was really prominent on getting it pushed out to the rest of the world. This is what we need to be using now and all that, even though it's funny that no one really does that anymore today, and we found better methods. But it did help. They were able to find way more things during this time because of that. If he wouldn't have pushed that, we wouldn't have nearly as many records as we do.
Be all destroyed. Yeah.
So
that's really
interesting. I'm really digging it. So
that's awesome. Very cool. That's very unique too. I don't think I've seen many games do anything like that. So
yeah, exactly. And they spent, I mean, the game came out 2 years ago, I want to say.
Yep.
It was 2020, but it's hard to I think it was the end of 20. It's been a year.
You know what? It must have been last year, because I think that was
the end of last year. It was like right when the new systems came out. It's like November.
Yes. Yep.
So they basically were working on
this.
Well,
props to them for that one. That's cool.
So I got the game, Valhalla, because I wanted this Stadia deal where you get a game, you get the system for free with the controller and the Chromecast and stuff. And that thing normally costs like $80. But if you get a game, you get it for free. So it's like, oh yeah, it's totally worth it. And I can throw the Chromecast in a bedroom or something like that. So I got that. And so I was playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Then this update hit. And I was like, oh, I'll just try this update out. End up liking it more than the actual game. But the game is crazy good. And I think it gets a lot of crap. Now, I don't know if it's because they fixed a lot of things and I'm just playing the fixed version. That could be what it is.
I see.
Because I'm having a phenomenal experience with it.
Well, they say the game is bloated. That's what I hear. Number one, that it's too bloated. It's too long. It's just like they just like stretched it out. I don't know if that's true. Obviously, I haven't played it. So
no, I see the same thing, but I don't know. Now that I'm playing it, I'm sitting there thinking like, okay, and I don't know if the game's good and it gives me 120 hours of good. Now, what if maybe it's because the quality drops? I don't know.
Who knows?
I'm 5 to 10 hours in. I've been playing it a lot, actually, because it's on Stadia. It makes it real easy to just like play my phone, play on another TV, and I don't have to install. I don't have to update. The game is 110 gigs.
Damn.
So I'm very happy I'm actually playing on Stadia. I don't worry about it.
Yeah, that's good.
But it also uses the Ubisoft Connect, where you got whatever system connected to the Ubisoft account. It continues your save regardless of what platform you're playing on. So if at some point, let's say I get a better graphics card and I want to try it out there, if I use the same Ubisoft account, I can continue playing. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's always cool to know that that's a thing. I'm very impressed by the game. The climbing is really, really good. That you can go anywhere and it's very Breath of the Wild feeling, way more so than I feel any game. Like even Ghost of Tsushima isn't quite there. It's the closest thing, if not even at least in the exploration levels. I feel it could surpass Breath of the Wild. I mean, because there's a lot. The thing with Breath of the Wild, it's 30, 40 hours. And who knows? Again, maybe it drops. I don't know. But of what I played, I'm very impressed. And I was just like, man, this game like got crapped on a lot. And I'm sitting there thinking like, I don't know. Is it what were they expecting? Even I was like really hesitant on playing it for the longest time because I'm just seeing like, what's the point? You know, no one really seems that excited over it. Now I'm like, man, I need to be an evangelist for this game now because I'm like, people need to play this. It's way better than I was expecting to be.
Yeah, maybe you'll finish it and it'll just be like they'll stay that way the whole time.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
I love it though. Anyway,
that's great.
Last bit of news here: Halo Infinite PC overview they released.
Dude, can I tell you how excited this video got me? My God, I was already. If you can't tell from listening to this podcast, I think both of us are already very excited for this game. But when I saw that for once, like I know this happens sometimes, but I'm so excited that Microsoft is like, okay, let's really give this PC version the love it deserves, the attention it deserves. And so we have a ton. I mean, they're partnering with AMD, they're partnering with Razer. They're just going all out. I mean, I guess we can go down the list of all these things that they're doing, but this is really impressive.
I took the time. I watched the video, took a whole bunch of notes.
Okay, cool.
And through the whole thing. That way we can actually go over it because there's a lot to say here.
There really is. Yeah.
So first of all, just right off the gate, not a port. Okay, this isn't like, hey, we got it working on Xbox. Now let's get it working on PC.
Right.
They were from day one knowing this is PC and console, and we're making it at the same time for both sort of situations.
That's awesome.
Not a port. Okay,
that's exactly what I was talking about before. This is really, really cool. Good news for sure.
Next up, one of the more plethora of options seen on a PC game. It really, really is. I mean, I've already seen it. We got to play the testing, right? You've went through the options. I don't know how deep you went into the options.
I messed around a little bit.
The video highlights a bunch of stuff as well. One of the things that I also put further down, well, let's just go through some of the options here. So one, ultra-wide support.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Okay.
That's cool.
Can adjust the size of the hub shown while playing. So like your radar and your
that is
the points in the games and all that. The fact you can make that smaller or bigger. That's really cool.
Because I'm someone who like I'll use the radar, but I don't need it to be big. I would rather make it smaller. So things like that.
Exactly. I don't need it covering like a fourth of my screen.
Right.
Anyway, I'm exaggerating. It wasn't that large. But
right. I think what you're saying.
Still. And then it has a bunch of sliders instead of on and off toggles. So like the motion blur, the exposure, the screen shake, sharpening, it's all got like, hey, do you want 20% of that, 70% of it? Right. That's awesome.
That is great. Because normally I'm like, I'll just turn motion blur off, but I don't mind a little motion blur. So
exactly.
I just love that they're actually thinking these are not things normally console players have to worry about. So they really did take all this into account. That's awesome.
These aren't things PC games are doing right now.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like they're doing a lot of things no one has really done.
Yep.
Awesome. You can each key you can assign up to 3 different keys to bind each action.
That is really cool, actually.
So reload could be 3 different things.
There are times where certain actions in certain moments I would like to press one button versus another. I mean, the fact that this is an option is huge.
I've seen maybe 2 per action on very few games.
2 sometimes, yep.
Seeing 3 on every key.
Crazy. That's huge. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Might possibly be the lowest latency game developed by Microsoft. They have this cool little LED mouse capture camera trick. So they set up the camera. They are basically watching right whenever the mouse clicks. The LED kind of goes away that's up in the mouse. So they can record that and then know the exact moment it's being pressed, and then they can then program into the game so they know exactly like now you know for sure it's right when you hit, that's when the action takes place. Some weird little thing that seems simple but goes a long way.
Sure.
So
yeah, agreed.
also, they just updated the Xbox controllers with the low latency as well, and they've gotten the lowest latency ever possible on a controller to date. And it's
That's awesome.
if you look at charts compared to just any other wireless controller right now, it's not even close. It's like a tenth of like the PlayStation's latency, for example. It's pretty wild. So they're doing really good in that vein. Yep. And that's the thing, like Microsoft, I mean, they've always been pretty good at all this stuff. Their biggest issue, again, is just having that big first-party title sort of situation.
That's their main issue, yeah. But they've always been good at stuff like this. So,
I mean, Xbox Live, I mean, online gaming wouldn't be where it was. Demos wouldn't be where it was without them. So
no way, not even close. Yeah, agreed.
So they're always big on that front. Yep. But it's cool that they're still being the biggest on that front. This isn't a thing of the past. They're still making big strides to offer things no one's offering. So really cool.
Yep. Very cool.
Big emphasis on anti-cheat. They go into all of that. I guess we won't know till we see. But the fact that they're mentioning it and saying that they're taking it really important, cool.
Yeah, I'm all for that. That's good.
Now, the whole thing with anti-cheat, and it's a whole discussion that's been going on the last few years. I've been seeing it a lot recently. Regardless of what they do, somebody will find a way around it.
Of course.
And it's really hard to battle that because I feel really bad. Like you could be the smartest person alive. Somebody will eventually, because they can spend however many weeks, months, years until they eventually break it.
Of course. It'll happen no matter what. But if they have a good anti-cheat thing in place, maybe, the majority, it'll be less cheaters.
The more walls, the less cheaters. I guess that's the best way to put it.
Yep.
No extra DRM than what Steam would normally have. So this is big because so there's a story. I forgot to add it. I just saw it today. The new Nier Replicant. They dropped. Square Enix as a whole have finally dropped adding this. I don't know if you know much about the crack world, but this Denvito DRM that they've been adding to a lot of PC games that a lot of companies do.
I see.
The problem is it adds a lot of issues with the game's performance. So you know how like Nier Automata had all these problems? Same with Nier Replicant had all these PC problems. It's because of the stupid Denviro thing. But it makes it where people can't pirate it. It makes it really hard, but it screws with the performance and all of this.
I see.
And a lot of people have been complaining for years on like, dude, you got to get rid of this because when the people are making these stuff, so you have to download the thing to get Automata going good. Okay. They're basically having to figure out a way to not have the DRM mess with the engines. So then that's what makes it good. Though, if you dig deeper, you'll realize all these stuff. And the same with now that the DRM dropped for this new one, Replicant, now people finally added this overlay to where you can activate and now fix all of these VSync problems, all the same stuff that Automata had. And now all of these issues are now being solved because the thing's gone.
That's great.
People are just like, can we please just not do this anymore? And Square Enix admitted, and it was literally today or yesterday, they're like, they're no longer adding it. It is messing with the performance of our games.
Okay, good.
And we're going to listen and do that going forward. So
listen, just take the L. Take the L. Some people will crack your game, okay? But it doesn't have to.
People are going to find a workaround, like I was saying before with the cheating. They're going to find a workaround with that as well.
Right, of course. All right, that's good.
Because, I mean, can you imagine the amount of people complaining when they're playing, especially this newer Nier, and they're just like, oh my God. Can we please?
Tired of it. Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
Good.
And they're doing all this because they're worried about people pirating. I get it, but people are gonna find a way to pirate. That's what I was saying.
That's what I was saying. It's like just accept. That's like when someone opens a store, like a business, you have to accept that every year you're gonna lose some money from theft. Yeah. People taking stuff. Right?
And so what are you gonna do? You're gonna restructure your whole store. What are you gonna put everything behind the counter because someone's going to steal every one of your items.
Everyone's going to be searched on the way out or something, or what? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you have to just accept that some things are going to be how it is, and whatever it is, what it is. You're still going to sell millions. Don't worry, your game's good. Probably sell
exactly.
A lot, so.
I don't think you're going to get more sales because you got a better DRM. I mean, maybe what? Again, like I'm thinking, okay, if somebody is pirating games a lot, that's all they ever do. Okay, is that one, it's not like, I guess first of all, they'll figure out a way to crack it and then they'll download it and they'll wait however long they gotta wait, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just trying to think of the change of cells if they just had just an even better one. Is it, and how are they making way more cells? No, it's not going to translate that way. It's just not.
Right.
So just please stop, because we need games to perform better.
Yep.
Going back to Halo, right from the get-go, they're just like, nah, we're good. Like, no DRM. He said it in the video. We want our game to perform the best it could possibly perform.
Good.
Okay. So exactly.
Love hearing that.
If it causes some people not to buy it and pirate instead, first of all, they won't be playing multiplayer anyway. Where they're going to play it, I guess, the campaign.
All right.
Multiplayer is way too huge, and it's free to play. So it's kind of, in this situation, there's not really much reason to pirate anyway. So
right. It's free to play. I mean, just download
it. All right. They're doing cross play and cross save. So regardless of whatever you boot it up on, you're logging in, you're good to go.
That's great.
Yeah.
Especially the crossplay. That's awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
Very cool.
They're fixing the whole thing with crossplay here. I'm gonna skip one thing here. So they're doing 3 ranked categories based on input. So
that's awesome.
1 for mouse and keyboard, 1 for controller, and 1 for both, regardless of what you're playing it on, just to mix it up and have a little fun. And that almost makes me want to play in that mode with a controller, to see how. I don't know.
We can go into that one and just play against whoever. That'd be cool.
Basically hard mode multiplayer.
If we're feeling real good one day, we'll do. I'll go into the all mouse category sometimes, see what people are doing. In Halo, I feel like, man, it's a game where, like, yes, I still think you have an advantage with keyboard and mouse, but I think Halo is a game where your skill can really push you up there, even with the controller, you know?
It can, but you're still going to have an advantage when it comes to aiming, regardless.
Of course. Yeah, no matter what. So
it's still there.
That's great.
Real LAN play with PCs and consoles to relive those 90s LAN parties. Man,
love those parties back in the day.
Now, I don't know how much of, like, PC LAN parties you really had back then. Right. It's not too much of a difference of, like, hey, we're bringing a console, hey, we're bringing a PC, and hooking them all up.
Right.
The big difference is the LAN itself. So why PC LAN was so huge is because you're running your own network just at that one place. So you have one computer, even if the rest console, PC, whatever. So like with Halo 1, for example, if you had a PC there to start the server and then everyone connect to that one thing, now everyone can play on all of these different TVs, and you don't have to worry about relying on Xbox Live or the internet. You're just literally relying on the cables themselves from one to the next, to the next, to the next. And then it's all running exactly as if you were just playing on the one system. You know, it's like one-to-one sort of situation. That's why LAN's so big. Because anytime you add any online, it could be the best online, doesn't matter. There's still a delay there.
Right,
and so the fact that they're adding this with Halo, super cool. Because it is gone very far away from the LAN, what people do nowadays. No one's really adding a LAN option in games nowadays. So
I just love.
I know they're just thinking of all these things that are just.
It's very cool.
Cool. You can invite and play with people across Discord, Steam, and Xbox Live, regardless of the system you are running from. That
is awesome. I think that's really cool because think about it. Like, me and you will be in Discord, maybe talking, and then my buddy who, like the other day, I wanted to play with my buddy. He was on Xbox Live, or someone's on Steam. It's great that you can combine.
You'll get the invite pop up. You'll join. It'll load up regardless of the platform you're using. So. Yes, PC and Xbox, okay, they're all playing together and stuff like that, but this goes that extra mile of popping up in a Discord or popping up notification in Steam and all of that stuff.
Very cool.
RGB integration with the game.
I'm excited for this last one.
So, like, you get like a kill tackler, right? And your keyboard will do something.
Keyboard. This is going to be so cool. I can't wait. It's going to be awesome.
When your shield, it depletes a lot and then it goes, your keyboard's going to do a whole little.
Oh man, I can't wait.
Unique to that one action. Super cool.
It's really cool stuff that they did not have to do at all, which I think is really cool that they partnered with Razer and did it. And we didn't mention it here, but they partnered with AMD as well to bring ray tracing, right? They're working on it. It's not there yet, not day one, but that's cool that it's coming because we all know Halo Infinite is going to be like a platform. I could see us playing this game for years with updates as you go, right?
Exactly.
So I mean, I hate to keep comparing it to it, but look at Fortnite, right? Fortnite came out. They're constantly updating it over the years.
That's what keeps it relevant. Yes.
Right. A version of that, what's a game that I actually like, is great, which is Halo. So,
the game I actually like.
yeah. So I'm very excited. Obviously, we're counting down the days, man. We're getting there. What do we got? Like a little over a month and a few weeks, maybe. Can't wait.
I'll mention it again, but I'm about to get my Series X, and I'm getting me excited because I know that game on Series X apparently is just like the bee's knees.
That's awesome.
I've been playing on S, and it's 1080 120. I could bump it to 4K, whatever, but it would be like basically it's 1440p, 60 on S, but I can do 1080 120, and I'm like, I want the 120.
Yeah, there you go.
But now on the X, I'll be able to do at least 1440 at 120. I can't remember. It could have even been 4K at 120. I don't know. I need to relook at that. But that's exciting because I definitely want the 120. And I was like, I could use a little better res. So I'm excited for that.
Like I said, we got 45 days left, so I'm just counting down.
New games coming out here. The Guardians of the Galaxy is releasing the 26th. Super soon. We talked about that. I am very excited.
Might be grabbing that. As long as I don't see something terrible that comes out, I think I'll probably
still need to see the reviews. I still need to.
Same here.
But it's gonna be a plethora. I'm not just listening to one. They give it a 5 because of some stupid reason, and then
right.
I don't know. Yep. I need to read the room with that.
Agreed.
So. NASCAR 21 Ignition. If you care about that, August 26th. Workshop Simulator, October 26th. Super Robot Wars 30. I don't know if you know about Super Robot Wars. They are pretty dope.
No,
it's coming out October 27th. Look at that. That's really cool.
All right, I'm going to look it up.
Age of Empires 4. This is a huge one.
That is big. People have been waiting.
I think they said they're doing a console version.
Okay.
But I can't remember. Can't be specific. But I know for sure it comes out October 26th, and it's PC. And again, because it's Microsoft, it's Game Pass. So that's one. I liked 3 a lot. Used to play it all the time.
Yeah, those games are fun. By the way, I looked up Super Robot Wars. That does look kind of cool.
Have you played you played Age of Empires before?
Yeah, I played back in the day, man. Some of the original ones, maybe 1 and 2, I think I played.
Yeah.
I always like those games. I just don't know if I have the patience to do 4 right now because it's probably going to be...
Yeah, I don't have the willpower to play a strategy game right now.
Right.
But they're phenomenal games, and I will play them.
They are.
When? I don't know. We'll see.
Yep.
Fatal Frame, Made in Blackwater. I think this is the Wii U.
This is the
version,
Wii U one.
Right?
I missed this one. I never played it. I wonder if I
haven't played any Fatal Frame. So
me neither.
I'm very curious. Anyway, October 28th, but it's coming to all platforms: Xbox, PlayStation, PC, Switch, all that. So that's cool. Because it was stuck on Wii U. I like whenever they finally here's the game stuck in the past and it was only to one system. I'm looking at you, Metal Gear Solid 4. Port it to other things, let people actually finally play this game. Awesome. Riders Republic. This I was harping on.
All right. You know what? Just to make sure I take what you say seriously, I'm gonna go right now. I'm gonna download. What is it? A demo or something? I get to try.
Dude, it's probably already over. I don't know. Let me see. It was a week trial. It was a week trial. You can play up to 4 hours, but since you use the Ubisoft Connect thing, you could keep playing regardless. Once the demo ends, things you can get your progress. But regardless of what you play on, you'll be able to continue your progress.
Okay. No, I still have time. It's until the 27th.
Okay, awesome. I'm telling you, man.
I'll give it a shot.
I am blown away. I'm really sad because I've used my 4 hours and I want to play it so bad. Man, okay, the biking thing, okay? So it's the first activity thing. It is easily the best little biking racing thing I've ever played. I'm like, dude, this feels so awesome. It's almost like burnout controls and the way you drift around the turns. You really have to I don't know. It's crazy good mechanics, and I'm playing it. It feels so awesome. I never thought I would find fun in playing some biking game. I don't know. I've never had this thought in my life. But the game started, and that's the first thing you're doing, and I was like, oh my god, this is crazy fun. But I thought that's all it did. I didn't know it did all these other things. But it's biking, snowboarding, the the gliding stuff that they'll do, like they'll jump out of a plane or something like that, and or jump off a cliff and like glide through like mountains and all that. Have you ever seen any video of this?
No, I haven't actually.
You don't know what I'm talking about? Not Riders Republic, but like the activity in general.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, of course.
People like gliding in the air and all of that.
Yeah, no, I've seen stuff. It brings me back to like the old school days of what was the name of that stuff they do every year, like the extreme sports and all that stuff?
The Red Bull sponsor.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. Yep. That's
what's cool in this game too. They have Monster, they have Red Bull, they have all these like official sponsors up in here, so it even more adds to like it feeling real. Every one of these activities, there's others. There's skiing instead of snowboarding. There, you can get on a snowmobile itself and kind of drive around if you just want to explore. Because they'll have like hidden things they have throughout the map that you can kind of check out. But it's more for the emphasis on just being able to maybe like check a track out before you race it and stuff. Because it's one big world and it's like split up into biomes. But it's all split up thing, but it's like mini worlds and for each activity, and it goes pretty far out there. So like, okay, you're doing the biking stuff, you can go really far. I mean, if you were to just go on your bike and just go and not just like select the track itself from like the main world map, and so you go to the world map, you select a point, and it'll be like, hey, do you want to spawn close to this race? You select it, you spawn close to the race, and then you drive up to the race and you start it or whatever like that. You can also select it and then just drive around. But you can select any point on the map, go to it, and just explore the whole map and as an area. But it's incredibly fun to just screw around and explore. I wasn't trying to do it too much because, again, it was a limited time and I was trying my best just to do everything I could before time ran out. I got really good with the snowboarding stuff. I got really good with the biking stuff, but
I can't hear you anymore.
Really? Let's see here.
What the heck is going on here? Hold on.
Okay, well, we just had a technical problem here, but I think it was because I was rambling on Riders a little too much, and they're like, all right, shut up.
They're like, whoa, you need to buy that if you want to keep talking about it.
I just had to emphasize it's phenomenal. I love it.
Okay, I'm gonna try it out tonight. I'm gonna try out the demo.
Completely blown away, and I would not have played it if it wasn't for the whole Stadia thing, because I'm about to get the Stadia box thing, and I wanted to try it out in my room on Wi-Fi and see if it was still good, which it was, but I needed to get. I was like, let me try this Riders thing in a week. Loved it. Went immediately down on my Xbox, tried it there, tried it on PS5. So I can speak on all those platforms. I will say one thing. PS5, I was disappointed because I was really looking forward to us. Ooh, let me get a PS5 because I want to try the triggers out.
Right.
They don't do anything with the triggers. It's not even a thing. Like, it's just normal triggers. Okay, well, what's the point? So
that's too bad.
Yeah, because that would have really worked because I was playing like Dirt 5 a lot on my PS5 and really loving the triggers there.
Right.
It's a missed opportunity there. But anyway, whatever. The game is incredible, though, so forget that. Awesome. Okay, moving on. Voice of Cards, October 28th. Voice of Cards, The Isle Dragon Roars.
What's your feeling on it right now? How are you feeling?
Still have yet to play the demo. I still want the game, though. So whether I play the demo or not, I mean, does the demo transfer? Do you know?
You know what? They didn't specify. I don't think so, but I will say that I've been trying to, now that as we get it, we're less than a week out from the game. I've been trying to like, hey, let me look up. Is anyone saying anything about it? Any reports? Nothing. But there's been nothing since the September announcement of it. Like, I don't see any write-ups of it, any previews, nothing. So I'm just gonna have to go.
This is one of those games though where I don't know if I even want to go off reviews.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, it's all cards. If you don't like it, you're gonna crap on it. If you like it, you're gonna. I don't know.
I mean, listen, Yoko Taro has earned my money for every game he ever has any part in going forward. So I'm buying it. But you know, I just, I'm not sure what to expect. You know, I hope we get a game that is a simple card mechanics, maybe an interesting story, maybe some of that emotional punch like we were talking about before, something that leaves you thinking and stuff. Even if it's shorter, that's fine. So let's see how that turns out. But yeah, I'm definitely picking it up. It's $30. I think I'm going to get it on Switch, because the portable aspect of that will probably, pretty big, so.
Yeah, I don't know where I'm going to get it, but I'm going to get it for sure. Same. I just have to. I'm too into all of this Nier crap.
Yeah. We got to be able to talk about it if it's if it ends up being that way. By the way, we do definitely have to do like a near replicant episode at some point because
we'll do near spoiler thing as a whole because we could talk
we can talk about both
Automata and replicant because they work into each other anyway, and we can do a whole episode on both of them. We need to find a third person. Hey, people listening, we need to find a third person that has also played both and has a lot to say because that would be great. That'd be great. Get 3 people all talking about.
Totally agree.
This insane story. So,
and then when Voice of Cards comes out and there's a secret ending that ties into Nier, then we can talk about that
too. But yeah, October 28th that comes out. I am getting it, so cool.
I'm excited.
Okay. Mario Party Superstars. This is cool. I can't complain too much. And Guardians of the Galaxy is about to come out, and I'm gonna play that over a Mario Party. But it's very different though too. Mario Party is more of like, hey, have friends over and play Mario Party. You're not playing it by yourself anyway. So I guess the very moment I know I'm gonna have an event, maybe I'll buy it then.
Yeah, that's a good
Everyone can all play it together at once, sort of situation.
Yep.
But I am excited. I mean, this looks awesome.
It looks really fun. So
October 29th it comes out. Obviously Switch.
Yeah.
And I think that will do it. That's it. All the games that are coming out here. We're going to talk about what we're playing here and then end it.
Yeah. You
go ahead and start it off.
So I'm going to work a little backwards here. I want to talk about the movie first. So I watched the Dune movie that just came out. It's on HBO. It is also in the theaters. Now,
before you start, I saw this headline say, as big as Lord of the Rings or as big as Star Wars.
Sure.
Now, off the cuff, are you feeling this? I mean, is it that major?
It's impossible to obviously be able to tell so early because, Lord of the Rings and Star Wars are established, right?
They're just trying to sell the freaking movie. Sure, but I'm just saying, like,
but
I mean, is it that large? I mean,
I will say that I can see it being that large. I definitely can because number one, the books have been around since the 60s, right? And there are huge, very critically acclaimed, very, very high praise for these books. And I can tell you myself, the first book is incredible. It's up there with all these other books that people love.
And the older it is, and the more people are still liking it, almost kind of proves that it was that good.
Exactly my point, right? So they came out with a Dune movie in 1985 that I didn't see, but apparently from all accounts was not that great. So Denis Villeneuve, who's the director who did this movie, he's a very, very good director. So once I saw that, I was already on board. Every movie he's made, I was super into. And then when I watched the actual movie, remember, I try to go in with the attitude of like, okay, I know I read the book, but try to leave that aside. Try to view this as a movie. And what would Tim think, who hasn't read the book, right? That's how I'm trying to view it. When I watch
a book has a lot of material. You have to cram it into 2 to 3 hours. It's very hard to do. You're going to have to leave stuff out.
Yeah.
So how did they tackle that?
It's a 2.5 hour long movie, and this is part 1 of 2 parts of the first book. So
that's good. That's good.
First of all, I already applaud that. I'm like, that's great. I'm glad that he's not scared to say we don't want to rush this, right?
Because I don't want too much cut content. If you can add as much as you can. Yeah.
Exactly. So anyway, all that being said, I watched the movie and I really, really loved it. I thought that number one, the most important thing about Dune is the world building, right? Think like Mass Effect. Think of like all the information that you had in your head by the time you finished the 3 Mass Effect games. You knew all the races, you knew all the planets, you knew how they all interact with each other. Wow, you knew their history, right? That's like what this is. They just off the bat, they start building the world for you, the characters. You see characters doing things, you're like, how are they able to do that? And they're slowly like drip feeding you this information. But it's not just a movie where you're lost the whole time. It actually has a
Can you explain one thing? What do you mean by that? Sure. Like, do they do magic in the movie? What do you mean?
So not necessarily. I guess you could call it magic, but I'll explain. So basically, there's a race in the movie. These women who are super powered. They're like, this is way in the future, and it's particularly just women, and they have these crazy abilities. Like she's got one ability called the Voice.
How far into the future? Because this is pretty important. Is it thousands? Is it hundreds?
I think it was like the year 10,000 something. So we're talking about 8,000 years in the future, you know? She has this ability where she can speak with her voice, a certain like frequency, and it immediately will command people to do what she says to do. Okay. And, you know, that's just one of many things, obviously. Everyone's got like these shields. Think like Halo, actually, because it's kind of funny. Everyone's got these shields they can activate, which you can still die, but the shield needs to be penetrated first before you can die. Okay. Another thing is like, there's these suits called still suits, and they're used on.
And the people, is this everyone on the planet?
So
is it certain elite people?
So it's not everyone. It's these women in this particular, like, I almost call it like a sect, like a religious organization, I guess you could call it.
Is it like a few hundred? Is it like a few dozen?
You know what? That information I don't know yet, because they haven't, like I said, the book slowly gives you information, right? I've only read the first book. I don't know for sure. But there's normal humans too who are using some of the technology that we can all use, like the shields and stuff, right? Okay. And then there's well, most importantly, without giving away too much, the whole point of the story is they go to this planet called Arrakis, also known as Dune. It has 2 names. Now, this planet is where things really, really start. That's the most interesting part of the movie and the book, because on this planet, number one, it's so incredibly hot and dry. You can't even survive outside. You need to wear these suits, right? There's these sandworms that travel all along the planet. They're so gigantic they could swallow like a whole city just by coming through an opening and just crushing everything. So there's these people who are natives to there. They live there. They know how to deal with the worms. They know how to avoid the worms, a certain way they walk, like all this stuff. And man, it just goes from there. Like, I don't want to ramble too much about it, but they go to this planet and it goes from there. There's like warring families, kind of like, think like Game of Thrones. There's this family who has control of the planet.
Yeah, I mean, I don't need you to explain the plot. I'm just more curious on the premise, like what
it's sci-fi, way in the future, sci-fi, really good world building. Some people have some super powerful abilities. Let's leave it at that. But man, it's really, I really enjoyed watching it. So if you check it out, you gotta let me know what you think.
I mean, I will. I'm gonna watch it. I mean, it's on HBO Max, right?
Yep. And if you can, again, I'm gonna go watch this in the theater after, because I do think it's a theater movie, but
it has a lot of like cool special effects.
Yeah, a lot of special effects. The shots are really, really well done. Like big sweeping shots of the planet Dune or the other planet or the sandworms, things like that, you know?
So it has shots in the vein of like a Star Wars or Lord of the Rings.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Definitely. Very
wide, like crazy cities, I guess, and stuff.
And you can tell that this is very much a part 1, because stuff has not really culminated yet, but we'll get there, I'm assuming, in the next movie. So anyway, really, really good movie. I really enjoyed it. Now, a little less winded than that is Far Cry 6. I'm still trucking along. I'm enjoying it. Fun game. It's not like blowing me away, but I am enjoying it, right? So I don't have that much to say about Far Cry. Bravely Default 2 somehow snuck back into my interest again. I'm loving it again. It's such a good game to play just whenever. I don't have to be in a certain mood. I don't have to be in a certain mindset. I just pick it up and go. And what I love about Bravely Default is they're so smart with it. They know you're gonna have to grind a lot in this game because it's a JRPG, right? So the fact that you can speed it up 4 times speed is awesome. Every battle is like chick, battle ended. Like, it's great. I love that.
When did this game come out?
It came out this year, right? February. It did. Yep. Let me see. Bravely Default 2. Release date.
Yeah, I don't see this winning any Game of the Year thingy. We're all trying to play all these games to work towards that, but I still just need us to just enjoy a good game.
Yeah, like, that's how I feel.
Like, at any moment, if I just want to pick up Death Stranding and just go for the next 4 months, I don't know. You need that sometimes.
I think this game is the perfect game for people who love JRPGs, but they don't want to spend as much. Not as much time, because it is a long game, but the action.
Let's say the accessibility is great. Not that it's easy, because I don't want to say it's easy.
It's definitely not easy, but it's easy to step into. It's easy
to enjoy.
Right, and the fact that, like, if you want to level up your guy 12 levels, you want to just grind it out. Okay, every battle is super fast if you want. And the other thing I do, let's say attack 4 times. And once I've done that once, you can save it. You can save it to press just Y, and he does attack. So now when I get off this podcast and I go play, I'm going to go run around, find an enemy, and immediately it's going to go super fast. I'm going to press Y.
Just hit Y, and then,
That's it. Y, A. Chick. Done. It's awesome. It's like so good for what JRPGs are.
You're still putting in the work, because you still had to initially set it up that way.
Right.
But now
you still have to pick and choose. Okay, what do I want to level up? And when I get to a battle, the job system, they just take all of the JRPG tropes that Final Fantasy has started, and they just push it. They just elevate it. Like now.
Look, have you ever played Final Fantasy 12?
Yeah, for a while. I didn't beat it though.
Okay, so they had this gambit system, and a lot of people said, "Oh, the game pretty much plays itself. Why would I want to play it?" No, you set it up to where,
like the commander.
Hey, if you have HP below 30%, use the move then. If you are in this condition, use that. You're setting all of these conditions and all these things based on what's going on and what it does next. Okay?
Yeah, it's totally different.
So, but it's in that same sort of vein. It's different, but what I'm getting at is like you're still putting in the work, and it's just rewarding you for the work. Just because you're not doing it in the moment doesn't make it any less important or any less like you not doing something.
Agreed. Yep. So I'm loving it. I think it's a great game. Even the job system, you can just mix and match 2 jobs all over the place. You want to have a black mage mixed with a red mage? Fine. For this particular battle, you want to have a black mage and a freaking soldier? Do it. Like, it's just so many options, so open, tons of abilities for every job that you do. You can have a sub job and a main job, and then you can, hey, I like this one skill from Dragoon at level 12. Okay, let me go grind up to level 12. And then once I get up to level 12, let me switch back to what I actually want my character to be and pull that one ability. You know, it's just so much customization. It just makes every boss battle attainable as long as you mix and match and try to figure it out. That's how I beat that boss that I was stuck on for so long. So anyway, great game. The last thing I have on here is the new Dark Pictures Anthology game. And normally I'd either say one person buy it, the other do a friend pass. But I bought it this time because I figured me and you can play this after. I have a friend that I played the previous 2 with. So I'm going to start playing it with him. But I think me and you should probably play this too and check it out.
Have you started it yet or no?
No, I haven't even started yet. Okay. I just put it on here so I could mention it.
But you did buy it?
I did buy it. Yep. So even if we have time during the week or something, we can try to play it too.
Whenever, message me. I want to play this. I haven't played any of them, and I've been really, 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 really curious about it.
So I'll probably message you throughout the week, like around this time.
You have an hour to spare. Message me. We play for like, I don't know, 30 minutes or something. I don't care if we have to join, get all whatever.
Right.
We can treat it like a movie or something. You know what I mean?
Sure. That'll be fun because it'll be cool to play it with you and play it with him, and then see how it differs,
because you can choose different things and see different outcomes and all that.
Okay, cool.
It will be fun. So
yes, sounds good then.
I'm playing Tales of Arise, and I mean I've been playing it this whole time. I just threw it in because I'm just hitting really pivotal moments to where like, God, this game is really It's definitely awesome. Game of the Year attender. It's getting really... I keep saying, it's getting super serious, but then even something more serious takes place, and it makes a previous look really shallow and like, man, if I only knew. And it just keeps climbing up this of like, holy crap, I cannot believe they're going here. But I can't say anything because it just ruins the whole thing. So all I can do is throw it in and be like, please play it. It's amazing. All right, I guess moving on. It's way too spoilery.
Okay.
To even begin Fair to enough. Indulge, but all I can just be like, it just keeps impressing me. So anyway, awesome. Monster Hunter Rise demo. Still need to play this with you.
Yes,
I just had to mention the fact that like, hey, it runs great on PC. Okay, amazing. Looks great. Yeah, it's a Switch port, so you have to keep that in mind. Like, it can only look so good. It is definitely pulling assets from the Switch game and moving it over. So it is like a Switch port. It's not like they built the game, put it on Switch, but we're getting the PC version that they also built from the ground up. No, they are moving the Switch game over. So there's like lower assets to everything. But I'm actually happy about that because I got a lower end PC. Now I can do the whole like high res, high frame rate, no problem with this game. I'm doing like 1440p at 120, and
that's awesome.
I'm like, man. Yeah, because it's been ages since I've been able to do that. I think the last one was like Doom Eternal.
Yeah, well, Doom Eternal was so well optimized. It was like,
that was the last time I felt PC elitist. But
we'll get you back up there once this stuff regulates.
It's great. This port, they're definitely like, Capcom has proven them saying like, hey, we're trying to keep do PC serious. They definitely are. The options in here are amazing. Anything you could want. They're doing an amazing job with it.
That's great.
And so I just had to mention that.
Very
it's
cool.
fun. and I really need you to play this so you can understand what's going on here.
Yes, I have to.
This is a game that they're getting behind, and the new expansion's launching when the PC version comes out. And again, like the Final Fantasy's expansion, which you've also never experienced, but I'm trying to think of like, have you ever experienced an expansion? It's not an expansion; it just feels like part 2 of the game or something like that. Almost like a sequel.
I mean, honestly, the Doom Eternal expansions felt like that to me. They felt like another part of the game, you know?
Yeah. This new one's huge. I mean, the expansions in World, like Iceborne was huge. This is an Iceborne deal. And it may even be bigger than the Iceborne deal by reading some of the stuff. They're going even a little bit further. So it's pretty wild.
Very cool.
And then I've been playing Nier Replicant, but we've talked on that.
We've talked a lot about it already, but my God, I could talk about this game all freaking day.
I don't know. It's hard to remember even what I said or didn't say. But I guess I can just say, hey, I'm 5 hours in and I played Automata. So seeing all of the stuff play out, like knowing the origins of a lot of things.
Right.
And I'm just like, ooh, this is this. And I'm like freaking out left and right, seeing all this stuff of like.
Yeah, it's so, oh God, I love this game. And I will tell you this. Make sure that if you are trying to see everything in this game, which it sounds like you are, make sure you look up, or maybe I'll send you a link to make sure you don't see any spoilers or anything. There's some pages that will say, here's how to get every ending, right? And you can click into them, but I want to make sure you see all the endings. So you want to make sure that certain things are done by a certain time. I can tell you with no spoilers that you need to get all the weapons for sure. That's one thing you definitely have to do. If you want to see all the endings. So just when you get a chance, as you get further.
Is there anything in the game where like, oh, I missed my opportunity to do something?
The only thing would be, so there's part 1 and there's part 2, right, of this game. So when you get past part 1, you won't be able to do certain side quests in part 1, and certain side quests get you certain weapons. Now, you'll have a chance later on, but in my opinion, it's best to do it on the first run through. So when you're going to know when part 1 is ending. You're going to know when you're at the point of no return.
I'll let you know when that's coming up.
Just keep updating me as you're going, and I'll let you know, stop right there. Make sure you get these weapons or whatever, because you definitely want to see all the endings. Plus the extra ending they added that ties more with Automata, which is awesome. So
I'm really shocked. It's way. I was expecting like, hey, they cleaned up an older game, but it's not going to be nearly as good as Automata.
Right,
I'm playing it, be like, hey, this may be better than Automata.
It's really, by the time I finished it, I think I still liked the other one a little more, maybe, but I didn't expect Replicant to be anywhere near this, near the original, you know, or I shouldn't say the original. This is the original, but I didn't expect it to be on the same level.
We can at least just, I guess, say they're of the same quality. There's just, here's part 1, here's part 2, and maybe it's like that, you know.
The only the advantage that Automata has is that it came out later, and so Replicant was a product of its time, right? Like some of the side quests, like I said, are like fetch quests. They're meaningless, things like that. A lot of
is that it? Is that the only thing you can think of? Because the combat is updated and great. I feel the combat's amazing. I feel the combat's actually a little more fun. It has a little more things that Automata didn't have.
That's the only thing that I think Replicant has against it, again, out of its control. Everything else, forget the combat being updated, which it is really good now. But even if you ignored that, the game itself was ahead of its time. A lot of the stuff going on, the story stuff, the way it's going to change genres on you at times, just like.
Because I watch videos, I mean, it's line for line of what the original was.
Yeah,
so I'm like, oh, cool. The exact same things take place. And then I'm sitting there thinking, like, dang, I can't believe I missed this incredible thing.
I know. I felt the same way. I'm like, how did I not play this? You're going to have one section in the middle of the game.
I know my reason, and I said it in the chat, but what I was saying is I didn't have a 360 at the time. And I actually remember someone I watched a lot that was really big into, so I was big into JRPGs, and that's the thing. And it only came 360 here in the West, but he kept pressing, hey, you need to play, but I just never had a 360 to do it.
Right.
Or I would have totally done it. I mean, for sure.
Yeah. And I just want them now to just give me a Drakengard remaster. Just remaster all 3 of those original games, please. Yeah. Because apparently Nier Replicant is based off one particular ending from...
Which one? 1, 2, or 3?
Drakengard. No,
The first one?
Drakengard. Oh man, now I don't remember. I want to say, is it 3? But 3 is a prequel. That's the weird thing. 3 comes before 1 and 2 in terms of the chronology. So I don't remember exactly, but it is based off an ending of one of them. Like ending D or whatever, you know. But yeah, keep playing that. You'll have to keep updating me on that one. So
yeah, and now do it for the show. But Nier, I'm telling you, I'm surprised. I was not I don't know what I was expecting. I was just expecting some old janky game that Automata made better.
Right.
I got another amazing game. So
I'm gonna slowly turn this into the Nier podcast. Right, we're just gonna talk every week about all things.
It's like goes from like 1%, 5%, next 20%. It's like 9/10 of our show is Nier.
Someone stops listening for like 3 or 4 episodes, they come back, and now for our Nier corner for the last 30 minutes of the episode today. No, man, I just think that the most amazing thing would be if you play Replicant. I played it this year. Some time goes by, and they just announce a new game in the Nier universe. Man, that would be something
and
else.
Here's the hard thing about okay, so we go back to the beginning of our episode here. We're sort of tied all together. So we're doing the Game of the Year watch, stuff like that. Okay. Right. I know, if I just am it's seeming to the quality of Automata and all that. Okay. How do you add that into a Game of the Year discussion? Because we're treating it in a vein of okay, do we be critics here and just be okay, which game technically offered the most for all people, and we should choose the best option, or do we actually choose what really actually what we believe in our heart to just be what it is?
That. You know? That'd be way more interesting. No one wants to listen to us just be well. This one got more 9s. No one wants to hear that. I think definitely we're gonna go with if I come up here and I say, what's the name of that chicken skateboard game? What is that called again?
Skatebird.
If I say Skatebird is the Game of the Year and no one can change my mind, then that's it. Then I'm going for it. You know. So yeah, I think we'll definitely do it that way.
Take the route of Sora and just believe in our hearts.
That's it. Okay. Got to get the music playing in the background while you say that.
I'm gonna have that be the outro music.
But I think that'll, dude. Anyway. This is the last thing I'll say. I'm so into Nier. Not only the music, not only the gameplay and the story, but the artwork. I love the artwork in Nier. I have a freaking Nier tattoo on my chest. I even have. You're gonna see. Look, this is Emil right here. You're gonna see Emil's face in the game, and man, it's just so
very original. Good. I don't know.
It really is. It's beautiful artwork.
It's like Dragon Ball's artists. You know how anything creates is just that style. That's what's going on here. You know?
I think you're right. Yep. But anyway,
all right.
Nice talking about this stuff, and we'll stop
talking about Nier, and I guess bye, Craig.
Time to get out.